is becoming an in-game leader, and then the second thing is being an in-game leader coming to a brand new roster. I don't know which one's more difficult, but they definitely feel like the two most difficult things you can do in CS.
And I'm definitely curious how Gizmy's going to handle the fact that he's now playing with people who are a bit more set in their ways. People that have been around the block a handful of times, and for Gizmy, it was clear that his last team gave him all of the buy-in in the world. He says, jump, they jump, and they ask how high. And then for these guys, for Rain and Device, if he asks them to make a weird play, and they don't like it, we're going to see perhaps the shortest honeymoon ever. But I just hope that Device and Rain also recognize that, hey, it hasn't been all sunshine and rainbows over here in the 100 Thieves camp, so they should entrust their future to an up-and-coming in-game leader, a guy that I personally earmarked to be the next up-and-coming tier 2 IGL, because I have been so wildly impressed with Gizmy. I think that this guy is absolutely a star in the making. I feel like his individual level is fine for tier 1, which is already a plus, because there's so many tier 2 IGLs who cannot hold their mics. Like, it's actually the biggest detracting factor when coming up to the space for these guys. Like, a lot of them call well, but a lot of them don't shoot their guns. Gizmy shoots his gun, and he also can run circles, call circles around some of the better teams in the world.
Look, if there's one thing that I've learned in my time for CS now is if you're going to sing the song of a player, I have to follow suit, alright? So Gizmy's also now on my watch list. I'm just a follower, a disciple of Maui's when it comes to up-and-coming IGL.
Wise choice. Wise choice.
Yeah. That's what I thought as well. I haven't learned a lot, but that one I know for sure. But of course, there is so much experience already on the server, right? Whether it's that up-and-coming aspect that might... The fact that we're looking at both sides here, it is across both of these teams that is the most tenured match. Over 15,000 HLTV maps between the two teams here, Maui.
That's ridiculous. I had a glance.
Ancha bo'ldi. Xudo xohlasa endi bu yog'iga nasib bo'lsa, maksimum harakat qilamiz YouTubeda streamlarimizni davom ettirishga.
Even including some of the stars and legends like Rez and Snacks on the team. So
xo'sh, ozgina men YouTubeda interfeysiga moslashib olishim kerak edi. Mayli. Mana Falconlarning yangi kiyimlari bular. Bular ham bootcampda, Zonik Monesy shu yerda. Kyosuke bizlar bilan.
It's pretty crazy here. And I'd say without having to look at the number specifically, a lot of that comes from Kerrigan, Device.
Assalomu alaykum. Tanidingizmi qirg'iz? Samagan tanidim, Rad qanaqa qilib tanimaslik mumkin? Blastmi bu? Blast. Ey, hozirgi paytda Blast bilan Starladder turniri bir xil ketyapti. Parallelda Starladderda Yevropadan kvalifikatsiyada chiqish o'yinida Aurora o'ynayapti Nemiya bilan. Model bering, beraman aka, mana endi model ham berishni boshlaymiz, yana eski modellarimizni qaytarib olaylik hozir. Uydan o'ynaydimi? Yo'q, play-offgacha uydan o'ynaydi. Ya'ni shu haftada shanbagacha stream ko'ramiz, nasib bo'lsa, ertaga ham zo'r o'yinlar bor. Ertaga ko'proq o'yinlarni stream qilamiz, qiziqroq o'yinlar ko'proq bo'ladi. Shuning uchun uyida o'ynab turadi boshlanishida.
Other way around. Okay, that makes more sense. I was going to say 1.16 for 100 Thieves here. I know they've got a lot of time played, but they don't have a major trophy in
Me bumping aniq bo'ldi bizada. Xo'sh, birinchi karta Nuke ko'ramiz. 100 Thieves komandasi pik qilgan. Falcons esa Dustikni pik qildi. Decider qilib bizda Anubis kartasi qoldirildi. Nuke, Dust va Anubis.
Jersey's looking really nice here.
Oh, Santares peak.
How good Falcons are going to be this season? Part of the reason.
Vaksiyami shunaqa o'zim boshlab beraman. Katta rahmat Danat uchun. Oh, Santares peak, ha. Ketdik bo'lmasa. Birinchi raund boshlandi va tez birinchi kill bor va bu yerda tez double kill amalga oshirilmoqda, lekin Monesydan double. Qanaqa fast round bo'lib ketdi bu? Falconlar chiroyli start olishmoqda. O'yinda o'zini ozgina balandroq qilib qoldim. Bek, pochininglar. Danatlar uchun katta rahmat. Bek sizga ham. Tezas bilan Monesyni o'ynaganini qaranglar. Nuke kartasi. Fast win Falconlar uchun.
This isn't just an ego move out of 100 Thieves. This is just also, but it's
va
also
o'zi ikkinchi round start olmoqda.
Kerrigan, go against Nico.
Kerrigan, Nico, major chempionlari bular, major chempionlari. Monesy qayerga bor va ko'chadan o'ynashda davom etadi Gizmy.
not used to playing with
Device,
players like that.
Poi,
Although very
Rayan
exciting pickup,
va
I think,
Sira.
400
Adashmasam
Thieves,
mana
the
shunaqa
team
o'qilsa
that
kerak
snatched
ismi.
Gives Me away.
Afsuski bu turnirda e'tibor qilmaylar akalar bu qafonga. Inglizcha gapirib turadi. Iloji yo'q-da, o'chirishdi.
That's that messy.
Niko.
The man knows a good deal.
Niko Nikolakovich. Va ko'rdi bu yerda Monesy informatsiya beradi Nikoga. Nikodan kill bort edi sabab. O, Yosuke. Har bitta ig'roq bittadan o'ldirib bildi. Eng so'nggi ig'roq Carrigan tomonidan tutib olinmoqda. Monesydan boshqa hamma kill qilishni uddaladi hamda 2-0 hozircha Falconlar oldinda.
It's fair for Nat to be kind of caught off guard by this gives me pick
Rahmat,
up,
rahmat.
because
Magic
just his
edits.
stock skyrocketed back.
Falcons WW deyiladi. Rahmat. Sardor aka, tinchsiz, charchamaysizmi? WW Falconslar. Nasib bo'lsa Uzbekistan Nations agar Saudiyaga boradigan bo'lib qolsam zo'r bo'lardi. Agar bora olmay qolsam Saudiyaga, shuyoqda turib O'zbekiston o'yinlarini ham ko'ramiz birga. Va bizda 3-raund start olmoqda. Carrigan Rayan'ga qarshi 15-1 ga yutayotgan ekan Carrigan.
Pretty damning stat.
Niko.
That's pretty damning. But when was the last time?
Rayan esinglarda bo'lsa, Face komandasida Niko smoke orasida Rayan'ni tutib berdi.
It's a crazy stat. Astralis versus FaZe.
Carrigan bilan Rayan bitta jamoada o'ynagandi 1 yilcha oldin.
And I guess a little bit of that was sprinkled in there versus FaZe.
Bular kiyimi bormi? O'zi oq futbolkani kiygizib qo'yganlarmi yoki? Yo bor ekan. Qanday qilib donat qilsam bo'ladi-da kelgan. Anonim mana shunaqa qilib qilsangiz bo'ladi. Rahmat donatlar uchun. 3-raund va 1 daqiqa atrofida vaqt. Yutqizgan jamoa turnirni tark etadi. Shuni ham esdan chiqarmaymiz. Yutqizgan jamoa turnirda tark etadi bu yerda. Komanda ancha yaxshi. Gizmini ham o'yinlarini ko'rganmiz, to'g'ri aytasiz. Va hozir 45 soniya atrofida vaqt katta ehtimollik bilan agar raskidlar bilan kirib kelishga harakat qilishadi. Tarakan odam sovg'indi, yana ko'rtirganda xursandman turnirlarimiz. Katta rahmat Tarakan donat uchun. Qaytib oldik mana. Esonaman. Like bosmaganlar like'larni bosib qo'yamiz. Bizda keyingi 30 soniyalikda hozir YouTube'imiz jamoasidan Aga kirishni tomosha qilamiz. Niko hali ham ko'chada va A maindan sekinlik tortilishni boshlaydi. Carrigan bu yerda pozitsiya almashtirib oldi. Flash raskidlar qilib berildi. Niko tutib olishga tayyor turibdi bu yerda. Niko yo'q, qo'yib berishmayapti, lekin Carrigan device'ni yo'q qilib berdi. Tazas on fire. Lobbydagi igroqlar va Carriganga qarata agressiya bu yerda. Carrigan Sirani yo'q qilib bermoqda. Gizmi. Voy Carrigan triple kill. Quvlab o'ldirdi hammani, quvlab. Bomba defuse qilingandan so'ng navbatdagi round Falconlar foydasiga hal bo'ladi. Bahrom aka Spirit Go streamga omadinglar. Bahrom aka Spiritni o'yini adashmasam ertaga xudo xohlasa. Ertaga Spirit o'ynaydi. Ertangi qiziq o'yinlarni aytib o'taman birdan. Hozir menimcha time out olishdi bular. Ertaga bizni bir-biridan qiziqarli o'yinlar kutmoqda. Bular salgina internetda problema. Aurora Focus jamoasiga qarshi o'ynaydi. Soat 3 da o'ynar ekan. Undan keyin 17:30 Foot bilan Sinners o'yini. 20:00 Gentlemates Pain 22:30 da o'ynaydi. Ertaga Spirit jamoasi OG ga qarshi. OG. Astralisdagi device-da, o'sha device. Qariya refer bo'lib ketdim, jo'ta. Ikkinchi yoshligini boshladimi deyman, yana bitta mashhur chempion bo'lgandan keyin. Niko Gizmi. Voy Niko. Tekkizda o'qdi, lekin 11% gina damage qabul qilingan xolos. Niko. Carrigan uchun deydilar. Donatchi rahmat, yetkazib qo'yamiz Carriganga. Night, assalomu alaykum. Yaxshimisiz, brat? Bu yerda Sira Kyosuke'ni minus qilib bermoqda. Qanaqa pik Monesy Gizmini olib ketdi. Smoke orasida. Secretga qarab esa igroq yo'l oldi. Sira Underhavendan kimdir pik qilar ekan. Men rampdan B ga qarab kirib kelish boshlangan. B-da qariya Carrigan bor. Device shosh niyati yo'q. Va bu yerda qariya yaxshigina damage berib yubordi. Qariya O'ldirdi oxirigacha. Voy, orqasidan yetib kelgan Sira bunaqa shansni qo'ldan boy bergani unga qimmatga tushishi mumkin, chunki rampdan Niko ham yetib kelgan. Karigan va devas haqida informatsiya bor. Karigandan kill Monesy. Monesy Reyni o'ldirmoqda. Monesy Sirani yo'q qilib berdi hamda 4-0. Hech bo'lmasa bomba o'rnatishga ulgurishdi. Rahmat Magic Edis, xursandman eshitib bu gaplarni. Let's go Falcons. Like bosmaganlar, like'larni bosib qo'yamiz akalar, like'larni. Nima qilyapti odamlar? Qanaqa qilib? Sekin o'zimiz aktivda qaytara olamiz YouTube'ga.
Getting a major and doing it with this new lineup was like the entire goal. I mean, being able to do that fast is like beyond a miracle, and it was incredible to watch. And it's huge.
Bu esa bundan roundning highlighti. Vitality qachon o'ynaydi? Vitality inding kuni o'ynaydi Vitality. Ertaga emas, indingga. Liquidga qarshi tushgan. Inding kuni zo'r o'yinlar bo'ladi. Ertaga faqat Spirit bilan Aurorani o'yini qanaqadir qiziq bo'lishi mumkin. Agar vaqtim bo'ladigan bo'lsa, abetda Aurorani ham o'yinini bir ko'rib o'tamiz, shu bilan kechga yana stream yoqaman.
And Kerrigan's brought it up before. He always plays to the level of his opponents.
Yana ko'chada o'ynashni boshlashdi. Bilmadim, Yusuf nimaga ishonib New kartasini pik qilgani. Falconlar maza qilib, oho, Gizmi tekshiradi. Default joyni lekin Monesy vaysiga qildi bu yerga Kyosuki. O'tolmayapti Kyosuki. Gizmi 44 pozitsion bilan tirik qolgan va hoppa, Rain hamda Gizmidan ajoyib headshotlar ketma-ketligi. Monesy smoke orasida Gizmini yo'q qilib berdi va Monesy chiroyli spray control. Sira ham ul ketmoqda. 2-2 vaziyat. Easy kill tezasda. Eng so'nggi igroq esa bizda Rain clutch amalga oshirishga to'g'ri keladi. B ga qarab yo'l oldi. Bu juda ham to'g'ri qaror. 1 daqiqa atrofida vaqt hamda Rain hozir 2ga 1 clutch olib berishga to'g'ri keladi agar jamoasiga tuxumni yorish xohishi bo'lsa. Rain qarib qolibdi lekin ancha. Voy jinnini qaranglar, jinnini Rain. Momentni zo'r edi lekin ulgurdi. Ulgurmadi. Lekin hozir orqasiga yetib bormoqchi. O'qimaydilar Rainni bu paytida kutmaydi. Voy ketdi Rain. Oldi menimcha bu raundda. Jinni bu. This is Rain. Nice try. Tezesga o'qlarini to'g'ri spray qila olmaganligi sababli round qo'ldan boy berilar ekan. Baribir yosh o'z so'zini aytadi. Rainni prime'ga to'g'ri kelardi. Ikkiga ham one tap ko'rgan bo'lardi hozir. Endi 5-0 easy Falconlar uchun. Turisa like lekin 700 kishi ko'rib turibdi. Like bosmaganlar like'larni bosib akalar. Obuna, podpiska bosmaganlar podpiskalarni bosib qo'ying. Sekin endi YouTube'ga qo'lga olsangiz zo'r. Bu Rain o'sha phase'da o'ynagan Rainmi? Xuddi o'sha. Furia qachon o'ynaydi? Inding kuni Furiani o'ynaydi.
Even though this team is jam-packed with stars, he somehow still shone.
Bu bechoralar oddiy oq futbolkaga print urgan ekan menimcha. Tezes on fire. Your defense is terrifying. Tezes on fire. La motivation element of Kerrigan. Major
championship hangover. I always thought the same thing. It's like, does this just mean Falcon's going to pop up as a tournament threat at the biggest events only? But then I remember just how hungry the likes of Monesy is going to be to have a season that he can really stamp himself across. And Kyosuke, obviously, if he's satisfied, there's something wrong with the kid. Right? So I was always hoping to myself, like, that's where it would come from.
Va bizda 6-round boshlandi. 5-1 shotda bilamiz qanaqa hisobligini, ya'ni 5 round o'ynagandan so'ng mana pulda ekonomika o'rtacha ahvolda. Hammada kalash bor. Bemalol bay qilishlari mumkin degani bu.
Man, those lows were low.
Niko
And I don't think Falcons as an organization are interested in those lows per se. That's obviously something only time will tell. Right now,
Spirit o'ynaydi ertaga.
No hiccups.
Spirit ertaga.
Falcons banking on this.
Va Gizmi hozir Secretga o'tib ketganini ko'rib turibmiz. 3 kishi bo'lib o'tib ketishdi. Kim bor B'da? Niko bor. Nikolakovich. B'ga kirib kelayotgan uchovlonni tutib olishga harakat qilib ko'radi. Niko one tap berib yorsa-ya shunda. Hoppa, device. Kyosuke'ni yo'q qilib berdi. Bu device'ning birinchi killi. Device'ning birinchi killi. Niko esa ortga haydab yuborishga erishdi iroqlarni va endi sekinlik bilan Amenga qarab tortilishmoqda. Bu yerda Kerrigan lobbini egallab oldi to'liq. Mana shunaqa MKda menda ham bor. Gizmi garajga o'ynashdi. Heaven'da o'ynashmoqchimi? Yoki ramp to b'mi? Rain lekin hali lobbida. Carrigan ko'rdi va easy kill Monesy. Mana Rain Prime double kill ajoyib headshotlar bilan. Birinchi raund hamda hisob 5-1 bo'lishiga ozgina qoldi menimcha. Tazas Amainda kirib kelgan yuroglarni kutib oladi. Va antablar o'xshamayapti. Poy tomonidan headshot qabul qilib oldi. Poy saytni to'liq tekshirdi. Eng so'nggi igrok esa Niko.
That's just a great round out 100 Thieves, honestly. Between the opening here
Device, miss shot.
and that 2K.
Device, nima qilib ko'rmoqchi? Chalg'itib beribdi. Gizmidan qilingan kill. Hamda hozircha yomon emas. 5-1.
Headshot.
O'sishida. BC game o'yini shaxolasi 30-iyuldagi. Bitta ko'rayqani. BC game o'yinini esishda BC game o'zini ham kontaktlari bor edi. Mediasida ishlaydigan odam o'shandan so'rab ko'rib bo'lsa ham BC game birinchi o'yinni ko'ramiz. Qaysi turnirligini bitta ko'rib olsam bo'ladi. Eliza Esports Breakout Series birdama degan turnir ekan. Top ko'raman buni sharhini. Bu 8 tagina komanda o'ynar ekan. Nasib bo'lsa sharhlaymiz bu o'yinni. Va bizda 7-raund hozir raskidlar bilan A ga kirib kelish tomosha qilamiz. Tazas 53 pozitsion. Tazas hech narsani ko'rmayapti. Full blind holatida va izlayaptilar unda. Poy, otishga ulgurdi. Monesy esa Sirani yo'q qilib bergan. Nikodan chiroyli bu. Niko double kill. Niko triple kill amalga oshirib bermoqda. Smokedan chiqib bergan holatda. Gizmi eng so'nggi igrok 3 kishiga qarshi 1 daqiqa atrofida vaqt va katta ehtimollik bilan bu save. Gap yo Nikolakovich. Trener Glaveman da. Shunaqa. Qaysi o'yin bu? PUBG.
Now he had praise for Gizmi's individual ability, but Monesy's not going to miss his chance either. And so that one's all Monesy and Niko. 2 and 3 kills respectively. A-site defense rock solid.
Chempionatda Navi jamoasi yo'q. Bilmayman nimaga qatnashmayapti. Navi balki dam olayotgandir. Lekin mana bu yerda Niko juda chiroyli chiqib keldi. Yana smoke ichayotgandi. Uje 100 ta olib lobbini tekshirishni boshladi. Qaranglar o'yinni o'qib olishini. Bitta igrok chunki raskid qilib turgandi-ku yo'qda. O'sha lobbidan keladi deb o'yladi. Like bosmaganlar 900 kishi ko'rib turibmiz akalar. Likelar 500 ta. Yaxshimi shu? Mana time out как раз likelarni bosib qo'yaylik. Yana rekomendatsiyaga chiqaylik.
I don't want to say it is
yordam qilsangiz bo'lmaydi endi bu yoqqa.
But for Monesy, I feel like that's kind of wide open being on what could be the best team this year.
Bu turnirmi yoki turnir Blast Bounty turniri. Blastning turnirlarini bilamiz. Faqat ana undan bo'ladi Blastga. Online boshlanadi, offline yutadi. Offline'da ham muxlislar kamgina bo'ladi. Jurnalistlar o'zini kirgizadi men faqat.
Niko.
Oh, Niko.
Yeah.
I was like, Monesy?
Niko.
Was it that bad? No.
8-raund boshlandi.
Played real well in that major finals.
It's really been Donk who's ruined everyone's plans. Maybe fired people up.
Unga 2 kdda yurdi. Monesy ancha formada. Bu yerda device ozgina qulab qolgan. Va Rainni qaranglar. Ketdi. Carrigan va Rainni dueli va Rain yutib chiqdi bu duelda, lekin tezdan razmi bor. Tezdan double kill Sira uni trade qilib bermoqda. Yosukidan qilingan killga device ajoyib headshot pixelni tutib oldi-ya. Va Niko esa Gizmini yo'q qilib berdi. Device 2 ga 1 clutch va device Niko tomonidan otib tashlanyapti. Falconlar EZV menimcha 2 ta map ko'ramiz.
Do we know? They look really sharp.
Boot camp.
Nima sabab ko'rmay qoldi? Chunki biz Kick platformasida stream qilayotgandik. YouTube'imiz strike ban olganligi sababli.
Yeah.
Sounds like a thing.
I think so. I've been there.
Majorda YouTube'da qilmoqchi edik. Bilasizlar, Majorda nima mojarolar bo'lib ketganini.
The glamorous Mediterranean coastline in southeastern France.
9-raund boshlandi va Fast B ga qarab yo'l olishmoqda. Fast B round ko'ramiz. Carrigan jinni yomon kirib keldi lekin Monesy'dan ajoyib flik. Gizmini yo'q qilib berdi. 4 ga 3 retake qilishga harakat qilib ko'rishadi. B da esa bomba o'rnatilib bo'lingan. O'zi Vitality'ning erasi tugadimi yo'qmi? Nima deb o'ylaysizlar?
In their back pocket for the retake.
They're not playing decon, they're not playing control side.
Monesy wants to get zoom in with Nico right in front of him. Man advantage for Falcons, but the bomb's past that halfway point. So here comes the ramp retake.
Oh, retake amalga oshmaydimi deymanda. Easy kill qo'ydi. Yutishdi roundni. 7-2 bo'lar ekan hisob. Tezas ham portlab ketadi. 11% jomla tirik qola olmaydi menimcha.
Strong looking individuals from Falcons. The 100 Thieves game plan. I like what I see.
Tirik qoldi.
It's kind of like Black Friday. Like as soon as the door opens, they just try to rush everything, cause a bunch of distractions.
Kalashni ham save qila oldi.
Stampede the staff.
Yo'q, tugamadi hali, tugamadi. Shuncha turnir yutqizdi.
The cheap TVs.
Qani mana bu turnirda ko'ramiz.
And it worked. They got downstairs fast. They got the bomb planted very quickly. Let's put pressure on a slower retake.
Yo'q, Xitoyliklar Kyosuke'ning o'zi chiqdi-ku. Men chekish tashladim dedi-ku. Chekmayapti, bratishga. Men hozir takoy hech kimni erasi emas deb hisoblayman. Kim zo'r o'ynasa, kimni o'yini kelsa o'sha yutib ketadi turnirlarni bundan buyog'iga. Yoki bitta komanda stabil yutib yurmaydi Vitality'ga o'xshab deb o'ylayapman. Kyosuke. Easy Kyosuke'dan kill, lekin Nikoni o'xshmaydi. O'xshmaydi Nikoni. Jinna Niko. Free Fire'lar bilan ham o'tashadi va Monesy'dan miss shot, lekin device ham vaziyatdan unumli foydalana olmadi. 4-2 vaziyat. Lobbida tiqilib qolishdi ikkita igroq. Lobbida tiqilib qolishdi.
Maybe if they want to take it upstairs, that might be the moment. Navi tugatib berdi rasman. Navidan oldin Bad Boom yutdi, Baba Team yutdi. Undan keyin Navi yutib chiqaraverdi turnirdan, to'g'ri. Tazas, Gizmini yo'q qilib berdi eng so'nggi igroq device. Agar bu prime device bo'lganda 4 ga 1 round olish uning uchun unchalik muammo bo'lmagan bo'lar. Eddi va no scope. Tazasni yo'q qilib berdi. O'yinni o'qishi yomon emas hozircha, lekin Monesy'ni o'qimaydi.
Figures out Monesy's position, so
hozir timinglar bu yo'q endi. Timinglar. Oldi. Easy. Turkiya bir olchisi. Zoygu. Hozir samaga shoshmaylik. Device. Kerrigan qayerdan o'ynayapti? Havendanmi? Yo, Kerrigan pozitsiyasini o'qiyapti. Niko Havendan o'ynayapti. O ishdi.
Device is going to be preoccupied.
Oh, Niko ko'rib qoldi device'ni. Kerrigandan esa yaxshi chalg'itish. Nice try. Zoygu. Donatni eshitdingmi? Assalomu alaykum Rustam aka, donat uchun katta rahmat. 200 ming. Gap bo'lishi mumkin emas aka. Zo'r aka, xudoga shukr. O'zingiz yaxshimisiz? O'zingizdan ko'rinmay ketdingiz. Prime device comeback, lekin round olib berganida yon zo'r highlight bo'lardi.
They could have at least cleared it entirely.
Hammani zo'r o'qib bildi, prosta timinglarda ozgina yutqizib qo'ydi. Spirit o'yini ertaga akalar.
No easy rounds here for 100 Thieves.
O, uje 1000 ta bizda gap bo'lishi mumkin emas. Hisob esa 8-2 bizda 11-round. Device. Niko o'qimayapti Red Rampdagi ikkita igroqni. Razveydan keyin o'ziga qiyin bo'ladi menimcha. Flick. Device. Hop. Yo'q. Juda silliq o'tdi bo'ldi Niko bu yerda. Va secretga kuzatib qo'yishdi. Igroqlarni o'q tegmayapti devicedan. Yana bir miss shot. Molotov salgina kech tashlab berildi.
Be cautious about the lower drop, surely, but still seeing some utility trickle out of this pack from 100 Thieves is going to keep Nico preoccupied. In the off chance they head back up those secret steps.
Nico B'ga qarab kirib kelsa, lekin berishmaydimi deymanda Monesy bilan Kyosuke B'da turishibdi.
Got some support here, some very good support in Kyosuke.
Boost.
Ready to turn this into a split to lower. Ramp will soon be protected.
Nico's the easy kill mi yo'q? Foydalana olmayapti Nico headshot yedi hozir. Hozir head yedi. Bitta head.
But they can't get out ramp without
Monesy
Easy kill Monesy'da. Bor.
Monesy still towards single, collects Gizmi. Oh,
Baribir jamoalarning tajribasi ustidan ko'rmayaptimi? Qanaqa? Device yana qo'yishdi device. Device yana qo'yishdi, lekin tez smoke orasidan headshot berib yubormoqda device'ga. Nice try, device ozgina uyg'ondi. Yomon emas.
But it is Falcons with 9 rounds secured instead.
Nasib aka qaytaramiz Furiya qachon. Akalar, HLTV degan sayt yoki telefonda programma bor, HLTV degan. O'sha joyda hamma o'yinlarning ro'yxatini ko'rib olishingiz mumkin. Men esa hozir sizlarga ertangi o'yinlarni bir aytib o'taman. Bormas, gazini olsang endi o'zingiz. Gap bermayapti boshqalarga. Sajiston aka donat uchun katta rahmat aka. Bo'ldi, gap bo'lishi mumkin emas aka. Shu yoqda biz streamda nasib bo'lsa. 12-raund. Bu raunddan keyin jamoalar o'rin almashib olishadi. Carrigan. Kyosuke hech narsani ko'rmayapti, lekin Kyosuke bitta kill. Kyosuke double kill. Full blind holatda ham o'ldirib bo'lmadi-ya buni. Gizmidan qilingan razmen Monesy bilan esa duel. Rain device hamda Gizmi deganimizda device Niko tomonidan tutib olindi. Turkiya vaziyat bomba o'rnatilgan. Rain ventda qanchalik toza o'ynab biladi. Carrigan qaytdi ortga. 2 ga 4 raund yutishsa o'zlariga yaxshi, bo'lmasa
void ramp go. I mean sorry. Vents go towards ramp.
Qo'yishadi round. Gizmi
retakes coming in slowly.
Olib ketsa Rain. Rain chiroyli hit. Gizmidan ham kill, lekin tazas razmen qilib ber oldi. Rain haqida informatsiya bor. Tez retake. Mahkam. Chiqib o'tib bersa bo'ldi. Yo, endi qiyin. Chunki Monesy yetib kelganida hisob esa 12 ko'rinishi bilan ikkinchi bo'limga o'tamiz. Ertangi o'yinlarni aytib o'taman. Как раз pauzadan foydalanib ertaga Spirit o'ynaydi. Sizlar so'rayotgan Spirit o'ynaydi 22:30 da. Soat 10:30 da kechki. OG jamoasi bilan. Juma kuni esa The Mongols o'ynaydi. Heroicga qarshi soat 16:30 da. Vitality Liquid bilan o'ynaydi 19:00 da. 21:30 da esa Furia o'ynaydi. Qaysi komanda bilan? Dendele degan komanda bilan o'ynar ekan Furia. Logotipi ham yo'q bo'landa. Ha, bor ekan. Shu Dendele degan komanda bilan o'ynaydi. Dunyo reytingida 31-o'rinda ekan hozir bu jamoa. Tazas on fire. Your defense is terrifying. Keyin bu turnirda keyingi bosqichiga, ya'ni LAN bosqichiga atiga adashmasam 8 ta jamoa yo'l oladi. 8 ta jamoa. Buni hali stage 2si bor. Zo'r ketadi turnir. Navi yo'q. Dendelas. Hozir bo'lyaptimi yo oldingi live hozir bo'lyapti. Mongollar sostavga qanday fikrasiz? Mongollar, короче, nima qilish kerak? Mana shu sostavni zo'r qilib olib chiqish kerak. Agar igroklar kuchli o'ynab bersa, sotish kerak, o'l soqasin qilish kerak. 18-19 yoshli bolani olib keldi. Endi bular ham yosh bola emas, prosta ko'rinishi yosh ekanda. 17 yoshli bola mana bu Tikwak degan. Anonim skin olasizmi kanalda admin yozsam o'qiyapti. Aka admin o'zi onlayn bo'lganda o'qiydi. Hozir o'qish kerak adashmasam. Javob bermayotganim o'zi, demak hozir onlayn emas. Navi nega yo'q? Navi bu turnirda qatnashmaslikni tanlabdi Blade. Trenirovka qilyapti komandasi bilan. Blade janoblari. Nechta karta ko'ramiz deb o'ylaysizlar? Like bosmaganlar, like'larni bosib qo'yaylik akalar. 700 ta like qilib qo'yaylik, 700 ta. Tazas on fire. Your defense is terrifying. Tazas on fire. La la la la la la. ikkita.
So somebody's going home. Well, somebody's not leaving home, more like it.
Big smile on device.
Ketdik. O'yinga qayta qolaylik bo'lmasa.
European compound is. Obviously they have their headquarters in
G2
LA.
o'ynadi. Ko'rdim o'yinlarni.
Where would they have an
Sampayisligida, Sampayisda.
Yeah, actually don't know.
Yoki komandaga moslashib olmayapti hali. 13 raund bor. Voy, Gizmi. Yomon otdi lekin.
Bomb will still make it downstairs.
Hoppa, poy, hech narsa qila olmayapti. Bombani bemalol urishlari mumkin deganimizda yaxshigina headshot qabul qilib olmoqda Monesy tomonidan. Va Kyosuke Sirani yo'q qilib berdi. Niko esa Reyni kill qilmoqda. Monesy oxirigacha otib qo'ymoqda poyini. Eng so'nggi ikkita igrok bor. Device ajoyib headshot Nikoga, lekin o'qimadi bu yerda Kyosukening pozitsiyasining eng so'nggi igrogi esa Gizmi. GG menimcha birinchi map. Vova, assalomu alaykum.
But there's nothing for him to do. It's just going to be around one here for the Falcons.
Donat uchun katta rahmat, brat.
And you just can't catch this kid off.
Charchamayapsizmi?
That's 3 frags for a Kioske.
Uizdonk.
There's just a number of problems here. There's just a lot of
It's
serious
Apex.
players on this team.
There's like a number of problems, but I wouldn't say 100 Thieves are...
BC yangilangan tarkib bilan o'yinlarni ko'raylik. Ko'ramiz. Iyuldan boshlanadi. Shu iyulning oxirida 30-iyullarda o'ynar ekan BC. Falcon era boshlandi. Men unaqa hech kimning erasi boshlandi deb o'ylayman. Kuchli komanda yutib ketaveradi turnirlarni. Nima deydi? Hammada imkoniyat ko'p. Hech kimdan qo'rqmaydigan paytlarga keldik-da.
No shame in not being able to keep up.
Device. Scoutda round yutib bergani bir. O'ldi menimcha Device. Bitta Kyosukida Kalash, 3 ta Galil.
100 problems.
I wish Alliance had picked Falcons.
Kyosuke ham ancha ochildi mana shu Kerrigan kelgandan keyin.
I think after their performance, they didn't deserve it.
Oh no.
Gizmi.
Unfortunately. They went for an easy pick and
Siz komanda ekan ochiydi. Ertaga endi nechinchi yutsa ham baribir donkni o'yinni ko'rishni o'zi ham boshqacha, ancha tanaffusdan keyin.
On the force. Let's hope for their sake map 2's got a little bit more life in it than this one seems like it will. Is Falcons no hiccup to start the season. Individually, rock solid across the board.
O'tirmayaptimi hech kim shunda?
It's always fun when TSS kind of props you up early. Couldn't point.
Hozircha Niko 31% jomla va 40 soniya atrofida vaqt. Qayerga qarab yurishar ekan Falconlar? Lobbida yig'ilib olishdi, katta ehtimollik bilan raundni A'da yakunlab qo'yishadi, lekin Rain 5-7 da endigina bosh og'riq bo'ladiganimizda TSS vaqtida yetib keldi hamda Rainni yo'q qilib bera oldi. Endi rampga qarab tortilishmoqda. Monesy kutib oladi menimcha poyini. Yaxshi pozitsiya tanlab olgan Monesy. Lekin tayminglar unga qarshi o'ynaydigan bo'lsa, unga qarshi o'ynadi tayminglar. Device yetib keldi ya'ni. Bomba o'rnatilgan va turga tur retake qilishga harakat qilib ko'rishadi. Galil poyning qo'liga o'tdi.
CTs take a big gulp here as map points on the line.
Sira.
We don't get one of those clock hiccups where Falcons end up walking into a site with a problem on it.
Tazas. Boshladi. Tazas deganimizdan poyi o'sha olgan Galil bilan rasmiy qilib bera oldi Kyosuke. Maqtagan Kyosukimizda ko'ramiz. Niko sakrab keldi. Device yo'q qilib berdi va Kyosukida yaxshi headshot. Poyi low. Kyosukidan spray bilan yo'q qilib berildi. Va bizda map point 12-2.
Question so far for the Falcons. They look fantastic. No championship hangover in sight.
Hisob 12-2.
Looks like they had that they were in that Goldilocks zone.
Esports manager degan o'yin Steamdan chiqmayapti. Chiqadi aka.
Get some practice in and be exactly right for their first online match of the season.
I mean, Max Verstappen travels the world with a Formula 1 simulator in his private jet.
Bo'ldi, major o'tdi akalar. Keyingi turnirlarga, mana bu turnirlardagi performansga qaraylik. Like bosmaganlar, like'larni bosib qo'yaylik undan ko'ra. 15-raund. Qaragin. 15 minut nima qilamiz keyin?
It's got to be the only way, honestly.
This man may have a mouse and keyboard tan line.
Highlightlarni ko'rib chiqamizmi?
But Nico having as strong of a start as he is a welcome sight.
Lekin fotografiya 5 ketmarimda shu Falconlarni bir tinniq rasmga ola olmaganda, rasmlarning ahvolini qaranglar pastda turgan.
Wonder if that's true.
It just counts the stops.
BC'ga magazin sotib oldim. O'zi o'ynab ko'rganlar bormi e-sportsda? O'sha menejerda. Kyosuke bilan Nico. Kyosuke Nico entry'da o'ynaydi.
Boy burn back.
Device.
Take a prod at the top of the steps, instead just gives over the space, and they're going to be preoccupied with this outer presence. Oh, Kyosuke instant with the headshot.
Kyosuke ikkita kill ham qilib berardi, lekin device yo'qib berildi. Bu yerda Nico bitta minus. Sirani biladi. Yomon otib berdi. Siradan kill bor. Gizmi easy headshot Karringa. Hoppa. Mana shu yerda cho'kish boshlandi mana shu. Monesy hamda Tazas. Yana bir headshot. Gizmi tomonidan amalga oshirishga yaqin. Lekin Sira low. Shuni ham esdan chiqarmaymiz. Bomba esa o'rnatilmoqda. Ulgurmadi. Yaxshigina kirib kelindi. Bu yerda Monesyning esa o'qlari tugab qolmoqda. Qiyin. Bo'ldi, yutqizdilar raundni. Lekin hozir Volbang bilan Sirani yo'q qilib berish mumkin. Voy, yana bitta low igrok bor. Yo, Sira. Round yutib bermoqda. 12-3. Hali o'yin tugamas ekan.
Surely a done deal. So they get that retake in. Good kills here with not that money to work with. They off map point for now. Oh, they're on map point.
Ma o'ynadi 24 komanda yaratib Monesy dongchi. Hammasini yig'ib chiqsiz-da. Aurorani ko'rib turaylik. Aurorani ham ko'rib tursak bo'ladi, haqiqatan ham o'ynayotgan bo'lsa. Yangi sostav bilan. 16-round boshlandi. Yana bir map point. Keyingi karta Dustni bermasa kerak deb o'ylayman men Falconlar.
Nico, Kerrigan and Monesy all with Deagles.
Lekin Deagle'larga qarshi o'ynaydi. Keyingi round fullbackga qarshi fullback ko'ramiz. Sira Tezasni yo'q qilib bermoqda. Gizmi Monesyni kill qildi va informatsiya ham bor. Bo'ldi, ikkita igrok ham ko'rildi device tomonidan informatsiya berilgandan so'ng. Kerrigan yaxshi headshot, lekin device Nikoni urib tushirmoqda. Kerrigan yana bir head. Highlight uchun Kerrigan. Sira qo'yib bermayapti. Eng so'nggi igrok esa Kyosuke. Comeback berib o'rsam-a?
There's a big conversation about Kerrigan having to bring up his individual level.
Bitta ham igrok tutib olmayapti Kyosuke.
The Beatram stats like just the worst performance of all time.
Yep,
but then they won.
Parallel o'yin bormi? Hozir bor. Aurora o'ynayapti, adashmasam. Nemiya bilan o'ynayapti Aurora. Ular Starlarni saralash bosqichida o'ynayapti. Sentyabrda bo'ladigan turnir uchun saralashadi.
HLTV haven't figured that one out.
o'n 7-round boshlandi. Fullbackga qarshi fullback va Monesy poyini yo'q qilib berdi. Mana shunaqa kichik xatolardan so'ng katta ehtimollik bilan o'yin aynan shu joyda o'z nihoyasiga yetsa kerak. Device Voy, Siradan yaxshi agressiya Nico rasmiy qilib berdi-da. Yana bir smoke bilan yangilab qo'yilgan ramp. Tezasda lobbydan ortga qaytishga harakat qilib ko'radi. 4-3 vaziyat. Kerrigan. Smoke raskilar tashlab berildi. Ko'cha to'la smoklar bilan yopiladi. Yana bir smoke bor. Mana Kerrigan nimaga foydali ko'ryapsizlarmi? O'yinni 1 minut hozir aka. Va Kyosuke Gizmini yo'q qilib bermoqda hamda 4-2 vaziyat. Shu raundni o'tkazib olaylik. Zayvu. Easy kill device'da. Ko'rdi. Hoppa. Voy, smoke tushida device double kill. Jinnisan device. Rain o'zi bitta tutib olsa bo'lgan edi Nikoni. Lekin Niko ortga qaytishga qaror qilmoqda. Kerrigan bilan birgalikda o'ynaydi. Raindan 2ga 1 clutch.
realizes it's a ruse. We'll try to follow up behind Nico, who does have the bomb on his back.
Strimlarni aka boshlab oldi. Va Nico tutib oldi Rainning so'ngida. Birinchi map Falconlar foydasiga hal bo'lmoqda. Hozir akalar 1 daqiqa men keyingi ana topib olay Aurorani o'yinini. Topdim.
Qui va être
Цікаво подивитися, як на наступний.
Qayerda o'ynayapti Aurora? Umuman boshqa tillarni qo'yib bergan. Kickdan tomosha qilish kerak uni o'yinni. Streamimiz qotib qolmaydimi? Kickdan ko'rsak. Vova brat, yozgandingiz-a aytgancha. Hozir aka 1 minut shuna o'qib olay qani. Boshlab oldingizmi YouTube'da ham ko'rib xursand bo'ldim. Ishlar bilan bo'lib kira olmadim, xizmat safarlarim ko'payib ketdi. Aka ishlaringizga omad, donat uchun katta rahmat, podderishga zo'r bo'ldi aka. Boshlab oldik aka YouTube'da biz xudo xohlasa bu yog'iga. Star Ladder. Mana. Arxaval degan kanalda. Originali mana bu yoqda bo'lyapti-da. 7-7 hisob. Birinchi kartani Aurora 13-2 ga yutibdi. Qaysi to'g'ri olamiz? Hech bo'lmasa 720 da ko'raylik.
Oh, but he still manages to stand. Can't do a taxi. This is enabled a bomb plant.
6 HP on taxi though.
Qanaqadir ranglari xafami?
Time one. I mean, look, Xantares can go first. Waxer can drop all this utility.
Endi nima
Taxi's going on a crazy all the way around the world flank, but it's not going to.
Oh, Xantares. Retake qilish harakat qilib ko'rsatdi. 3-2 vaziyat. Zdame.
Aurora will go anyway. Stame.
Zdame. Kicksandan kill bor. Zdame hozir oxirgi soniyada chiqib keladi. Ketdi. Voy, Xantares. Qutqarib qolmoqda Aurorani. Aurorani qutqarib qoldi bu raundda. Kicksan qachon o'tdi deydilar. Yaqinda o'tdi Kicksan. Falcons qachon? 10 minut, 15 minut pauza. 15 minut pauzadan keyin.
Still shouldn't have really gotten that close. Some great kills with this Galil that came in. Get their bomb planet. More or less pays for itself.
Va bizda 16-raund Aurora Gamingning yangi tarkibida Jinfat bilan Kicksan bor. E'tibor qildinglarmi shunga? Ya'ni Major tark etdi. Umuman общий qiz o'ynashni tark etdi Major. Soulfly esa zaxiraga olindi. Mana shu Aurorani o'yinini ko'rib turaylik. Na, ikkita kuchli o'yinchi oldi. Mana taxminim bo'yicha yaxshigina jamoa bo'lishdi bular, lekin Jinfatni yomon o'tib tashlashyapti. Zdame Viketani yo'q qilib berdi va B to'liq egallanib bo'lindi Nemiya tomonidan. Aurora biza ko'rayotgan chempionatda ham bor. Aurora biz bu turnir просто parallelni o'tyapti. Treneri ham ketdi, Trenerni o'rniga Ash keldimi? Kapitan Kicksan'da, конечно, kapitan. IGL'diki bundan oldin.
And Jimmy playing in the smoke fine. He's almost operating as a joker.
Nun Soulfly'dan ko'ra Jinfat kuchli.
Essentially 1v5, especially when there's a split on site.
Nemi emas, Nemesis. Uzr.
To handle, especially when you are just naturally separated.
Nemiya boshqa kamon. Nemesis bo'la.
I feel like the crossfire would have been easier to at least maintain a kill.
Formasi lekin chiroyli, ha? Yangi formasi. O'zi avvalgisi ham chiroyli. Fabri ham ketdi.
If it hadn't been so pacey out from the mid element,
Vitality qachon o'ynaydi? Erta inning kuni o'ynaydi.
Second time out for Aurora. And if Nemesis have
Inning
tied
kuni
us
qaysi
up,
kun bo'ladi? Juma kuni o'ynaydi, juma kuni.
these rounds have been costly, but
Navi qaysidan boshlaydi? Keyingi turnirlardan boshlaydi Navi. Hozir o'ynamaydi. Soulfly bilan birga bir duelga o'ynayapti. Desert on fire. Your defense is terrifying. Webkamerlar ancha tiniq ekan. Qaranglar, hali ham Xantares o'zi lan mamlaqa tir bir igroklarning ichidan deylik. Professional igroklar ichidan simli mishka bilan o'ynaydigan igroklardan bittasida yagonasi bo'lmasa agar. Hali ham simli mishkada o'ynaydi. Zuvini qanaqadir modelida o'ynardi adashmasam.
Yeah, between the two of them, yes, but in terms of them getting other picks, not quite.
Voxy qaytdi ortga 43% yoni bilan.
We'll push them away. Where on earth has this smoke come from? That's supposed to be the long doors one.
yeah, not quite on the money.
Chiqsan. Voxy.
Toxic flashback onto the line. They will be coming for him in a moment.
Astralis
and it's
ko'rdim
a
o'yinchilar
3-player
zerikanda.
lead
Ikkita turnirda parallel o'ynayotganlar. Yaxshigina nagruzkada o'ynayapti. Rain o'shga eskirayn. Xuddi shunaqa eskirayn. Furia qachon o'ynaydi? Furia inning kuni o'ynaydi. Juma kuni o'ynaydi. Ertaga faqat Spirit sizlar kutayotgan o'yinlardan Spiritni o'yini bu. Voxy birinchi kill bor. Yaxshi avatarlardan biri bu Voxy ham, lekin Magic Zima, Magic Zima, ismi nima bu? Magic kill qilib berdi.
Coming in from short. Santaras and in fact move over. Wakati has pushed through low as they know what's happening.
Santaras.
Can they deal with it?
Free Fire o'xshamayapti. Selter Kicksani yo'q qilib berdi. Selter boshni egib olgan holatda shortdan yurishni davom ettiradi. Shortda ko'rib qolishdi, lekin Wikiga o'ta olmayapti orqadan uni. Qiyin, juda qiyin. Voy. Nemesis bermaydimi deyman mana bu kartani. Bitta like qoldi. Hali like bosmaganlar bo'lsa 800 taga olib chiqib qo'ysak bo'ladi, lekin like'larimiz sonni.
Feels like he can repeat when he definitely cannot. I think it's touch and go for Nemesis, but it's the in-game leader bailing them out yet again.
Great kill from Magic there. Selta just slides on out. You know, fantastic kill in Wikidia. That did not feel favorable for him at all. That immediately makes it so much easier for Nemesis to convert the round. Selta goes down there. The pressure is on.
Okay.
Here's Peace trying to harass. This is going to be on double digits in a moment.
Va bizda 18-raund. Bu raund bermaydi Navoiylik siz. Navoiy Buxoro. Navisiz turnirlar, Realsiz Chempionlar Ligasiga o'xshaydi. Yo'q, jam unchalik bo'lmasa kerak.
Even for the CTs now as well. Walks up with those 2 kills, definitely can get AWP armor, all the utility. Not your final stand yet out of Aurora, but in the same breath, you really want them to start punching forward. Being a little bit more effective. There's that giveaway we keep speaking about. 8 gaming mice. Click on the banner just below the stream for more details.
Thank you, 80k, for that giveaway. Reset from the AWP, peering in towards lower.
Hozir men o'yinga qarayman qachon boshlanar ekan. 18 уже bu yoqda hisob.
That HE out as well.
YouTube stream boshlandi. Falcons ham o'ynayapti Falcons aka. Falcons o'ynayapti. Hozir boshlanib qolishi kerak. 4 minut qoldi, 4 minut adashmasam. Next map kecha 4 minut.
Look at short.
Oh, Moxic isn't looking at short. Flashed off the angle.
Topdim ko'dinglar. Topib kelganingizdan xursandman. Agar like bosmagan, like'larni bosib qo'yinglar. Ataka o'yinni reklamasi. O'yindagi, meniki emas.
That's a lot of good
information
for Nemesis. The AWP is over at A. And they don't want to mess around with that whatsoever. So instead you want to go into Xantares in middle.
Mana bu yo'g'a nimadir deb.
Just try short again from the looks of things.
Just with the split element, but Kicksan's here.
Yeah.
Arqamasdan reklamasini qo'yib turmasin, YouTube bangga kirib ketmasin shunda.
Yeah, Kicksan's ready to lock this down. 30 seconds. Centaurus moves back to clear middle. He needs to be ready.
Eski yozuvga e'tibor qilmadi tepadagi tekstga. Kicksan
Needs that support soon.
easy kill Kicksanda. Bir, ikkinchisini ham kutib oladi menimcha, lekin bu yerda Sdaim Kicksanda yo'q qilib berdi. Flash bilan chiqib kelishini qarang. Voxikdan miss. Voy, yomon o'ynayapti Sdaim. Solo chiqib keldi. Shortdan ham Migroga yetib keldi. Hozir 2 ga 5 raund yutib ketishlari mumkin. Jimin ot tashlayapti Sdaim. Huntersdan qilingan kill bor va Hunter oy Magicy. Birga bir clutch. 19 foyjon, lekin Vikkezya bermayapti. Nice try 2 ga 5. Zo'r o'ynab berdi.
Oh my god, how on earth has he hit that no scope? How does that happen? The fact that they've got time there, the fact that it gets expensive, everyone has a drink of water. Oh, stressful time.
Aurora yutgan birinchi
That's the
kartani.
first time I've seen Zantara.
Qaranglar. Sdaim o'zi tirik qolgandi bu yerda, ketdi.
And they won.
Yomon noskop berdi lekin. Big ante. 19 hisob. Yana bitta round ko'raylik, o'zimizni Falcon Sluji boshlanadi.
Another buy here for Nemesis. They keep putting the pressure on. They keep applying it. That felt like that was going to be clean. That felt like the money issues weren't going to be in any existence, at least in the short term, for Aurora. Instead, they're now on the back foot, and now they're rushing B.
Is he ready for this? Arcadia jiggling with the util.
Magic demaydi. Magic deganim yo'q. Magicy deyapman buni. Magic deganim yo'q.
Very ready is Jimmy. Keeps him at bay.
Na, comeback beradi menimcha ular. Aurora yutib ketsa kerak yo'q.
This time, no question.
Oh, no. Yeah?
Zelta, he's DC'd unfortunately, or needed. I think he just DC'd.
Qanaqa qilib o'zini o'zi o'ldirib yubordi? Zelta. Mana bu Magicy ham noskop berishga qiziqar ekan. Highlightchi o'ynayaptimi deyman-da bola.
Damage is done, unfortunately. Yeah.
Ketdiga o'zimizni Falconlar o'yiniga qaytaylik qan, nima gap, nima so'z bu yoqda.
And now you got to save for a minute. So it doesn't really get any easier.
Bo'ldi buni 2 ga 5 hech narsa qila olmaydi bular.
The spotlight and every person's eyes were all trained to them. So I think that there's a huge move shift here in this Falcons team.
Booster avvaldan o'ynayotgandi o'zi. Bir ketib, bir kelib. Krat kelgandan keyin depo yaxshigina kuchaydi. Aurora Kicksan qo'shilib tomoninglar. Jinfat bilan Kicksan qo'shilgan. Kuchaygan Aurora. Avvalgiga o'xshab mana qilmaydi.
So I don't think that Falcons
Troll
will have
qilmaydi,
the
chorak
highest
finalgacha
score
borib
of
yutqazib
any of
yuboradi.
the elite
Bitta kamida bitta tier 1
and
turnir
those
yutib
elite
ketadimi
teams, in my eyes, are very clearly Spirit, Falcons, and Vitality. Like, I expect Vitality will have more consistent playoff appearances, but I think when the season is over and we look back at it, Falcons will have lifted the biggest trophies by the end of it. Although it's going to be a super tight three-way race, which is why this is, to me, one of the most exciting seasons in Counter-Strike. The challengers to truly test, are they the greatest team of all time?
Yeah, and
shuning uchun KSda foydasi bor akalar. Turklarga qarab, Smella so'kinib.
You've already given some people at home Maui the hope that the only time Falcons would have really fumbled throughout that major run was on Dust 2. It was against Gizmi. Is it going to happen again this time around? Falcons picked it for themselves. Well, let's head on into it with Brian Launders.
With the individual level that the Falcons bring to the table across that first map, I struggle to see a way. It just feels like Falcons have hit the ground running. They're full focus on boot camp coming off of a major trophy hoist. And to me,
20-1.
Just feels like a good day to be a Falcons fan.
Yeah, definitely. This is about as good as you could have hoped for. No reason not to doubt a team coming off a win like this, especially with the guys on this team that are in this late in the career, yet only going to celebrate a win like a major in that way. But my goodness, this could not have been a harder matchup, I feel like, for 100 Thieves. I can totally understand trying to pick off of form in that regard again, but there was no easy choices for them. Very fun to watch Falcons right now, and yeah, I'm definitely mirroring Maui sentiment. Like my last favorite season to watch was in 2024, and you have that donk race, and you have, you know, Monesy going for
Ketdik. Bizada o'yin boshlandi.
Man, don't want to write off 100
Hozir linklarni tashlab qo'yamiz. Falcons hamda UT, ya'ni UTBS jamoasi qarama-qarshiligini birgalikda tomosha qilmoqdamiz. Birinchi mapda juda katta farq bilan Falconlar g'alaba qozonishdi. Falcons eski formasi chiroyli. Men ham qo'shilaman shu fikrga. Bu formani ham qanaqadir sal yashilini ochroq qilish kerak edi, lekin bu ham yomon emas. Qarab o'rsinlar. Aka, men hozir ayta olmayman, streamdan keyin aytib qo'yishim mumkin.
Many Falcons games with stakes like this one, where we suddenly watch their opposition break into the match, but I've also never had to cast the Falcons as major champions. It's a whole different level of reputation.
Best of 3. Ko'rdi, Gizmi hozir timinglarda yomon chiqib keladi lekin. Hech kim ulgurmayapti. Oy. Ikkita o'q bekorga ketdi ya. Va bu yerda Nico Reyni yo'q qilib berdi, Sira.
And so Nico and Monesy right back to it.
Easy round. Monesydan ajoyib headshot. Siraga device hamda Poi tirik qolgan. Ikkita iroq ham hozircha shortda. 5 kishiga qarshi round davom ettirishga to'g'ri keladi.
They send bullets through, just reminding 100 Thieves. We know you're back there. They're not wrong about it.
It's dust too. It should be such a fun map for the Falcons. Could be a complete highlight reel right now. And moments like that when you're on the flank, it's like, okay, big play was getting on the flank, getting that info, but just gotta be sharp. It's dust too. Need to hit that headshot right away. Okay, kill coming down.
Vertolyot bo'lib keladi. Helikopter. Earphone nima deb savol berdi? Nimaga tier 1 igroqlar earring naushnikda emas? Earphone. Hozir uyda o'ynayotgani uchun shunaqa naushnik. Bittalik naushnikda o'ynayapti hozir. O turnirlarga o'xshab, mana qarang. Oddiy logitechlarda, endi oddiy emas, u logitechda o'ynayapti, adashmasam. Hammasi. Lekin turnirlar paytida ichkaridan taqiladigan kichkina naushnik quloqga taqiladigan. Mikrofon uchun esa katta naushnikda taqib oladi va shumni salgina to'sib turishi uchun. Ikkinchi raund boshlandi. U hozircha tekkani yo'q, lekin force buy qilishdi bu raundda UTBS jamoasi a'zolari.
It was that many 4v5s. Oh my goodness. I didn't even notice. It didn't
9 marta open kill qilgan ekan komanda, tushunishinglar uchun. Va device hozir smoke ko'rsa Monesyga damage yetkazib qo'ydi. Ya'ni UTBS jamoasi nuke kartasida 9 marta open kill qilib, atiga 3 tasida, ya'ni 5 ga 4 ko'pchilikda bo'lib turgan raundni 3 tasini realizatsiya qilib yuta olgan. Qolgan 6 tasini yutqizgan.
And I think that's just a testament to the Falcons having everybody online last map.
Tazas.
No weak links could have been found in the Falcons camp.
Nimani reklama qilish kerak ekan? Bo'ladi. Mana FB degan logotip turini reklama qo'yib qo'yaymi? Tazas. Device tekkizda, lekin wallbang bilan tekkani uchun 30% damage qabul qilinmoqda va Monesyning reaksiyasiga baho beramizmi? Yo. Hozircha scoutlarda Monesyning salgina omadi yetishmayapti. 40 soniya atrofida vaqt. Device ham odamni jig'iga tegdi-da. Shu round yutib beradimi deyman-da shu scout bilan. 8 da hozir menimcha уже. Side'ni berib yorishdi. Kargan va Kyosuki Gizmiga ajoyib headshot. Device haqida hozircha informatsiya yo'q, lekin rasmiylar ham tashlab berilmadi. Hozirda Device timinglarda chiqib keladigan bo'lsa, anchagina bosh og'riq bo'lib berishi mumkin. Kyosukidan double kill, Device'ga ham headshot bermoqda. Qolgan 3 ta igroq esa 5-7larni save qilishga qarab yo'l olishdi.
Still too far gone, too far removed to do anything about Falcons.
Abuzaka Telegram kanalimizda men sizga link tashlab qo'yaman. Reklama bo'yicha qaraydigan o'zi odam nomeri bor-da, o'sha kishiga aloqa qilsangiz gapirsangiz bo'ladi.
If I were to be optimistic,
mana Telegram kanalimiz Flashbang uz
top 10.
Yeah, just right there on that
turnirimiz Blast Bounty turniri, oddiy turnir emas. Lekin endi turnir 8 ta komanda, top komandalar bilan boshlamaydi-ki hech qachon.
I mean, I doubted Monty every single step of the major and was just consistently wrong.
Mayda komandalar ham bo'ladi.
But top 10, that's tight.
Yeah, but in a world where like Legacy and BetBoom are top 10 right now.
Sojidinoch onlayn bo'lgani uchun bu savolda yozmaganingiz yaxshiroq qo'ying.
I always feel like number 10 and number 9.
Wo 7 ta like oldi, 900 ta like bo'lishiga. Like bosmaganlar bo'lsa like-larni bosib qo'yamiz.
But foot R12. Yeah, but they don't have lonks anymore.
Mongols are Mongols.
Mongols are.
Well, we don't know. Mara's still on the team, okay? What if they made a roster move and it's just not worked out no matter what?
Mongols are Mongols.
3-round boshlandi va Monesy Rainga damage yetkazib bera oldi. Eko round o'tkazishadi UCVS a'zolari bu roundda.
Major on the horizon. I know
va hujumda bunaqa, ya'ni bunaqa nima desak, o'yin ko'rsatayotgan jamoa hozir bilmadim qanaqa bo'lishini. Hozir 1 minut.
Yeah, I think even at Shanghai, when they were the Asian team in top 8, everyone switched over to them.
Problem is, if you go to China, you got to compete with Nico and Monesy's popularity.
That's true.
You're not winning that fight.
They just have an unexplainable aura over there.
I don't care where you're from. You're going to lose to them.
And Kyosuke, for that matter.
What's the Chinese nickname for Nico?
I forgot.
It's like weak-kneed shrimp or something.
Rain trick qoldi eng oxirida.
Okay, we're gonna have to make sure of this one.
Bitta o'zi.
That one I actually didn't know.
Nechinchi karta? Ikkinchi karta bu.
Weak-kneed shrimp.
Katta ehtimollik bilan oxirgi.
Yeah, because he always like well, not always anymore, but
right, he was Choco, yeah, but he got the major now, so.
Rain. Scout oldi qo'lga.
Yeah, the soft-legged
Nico esa
shrimp.
Rain o'zini olib tashlaydi.
Okay.
The soft-legged shrimp, somebody who collapses
Va
under
mana endi
pressure.
full buyga qarshi full buy.
Wonder if they'll ever update that.
Honestly, I feel like the Chinese community is very on top of their game.
Yeah.
So it's probably already, that's so outdated.
Oh, we need nicknames like that. We've just got like Sample.
You know what Molodoys is? Let him know he is up close and personal on that long door. Let him know he is up close and personal on that long door.
And they're gonna shimmy out of this doorway. Zero's got a fight on his hands. He comes up with one. Tough spot. This Molly definitely shows their intention in the attack, and the op shot's no good. Great kill for Gizmy. Doesn't get a second. Leaves Device alone. Has to hit the shot, and he'll get two.
Yep, that'll do it. Nico, 33 health in a 1v4. Or 1v3 now. Cuts it down as Poi is his first. 2 to go. And with that departure over towards the bomb, Device securing all the spaces Collateral gave him.
Stream qaytdimi?
Just like a rotator, and that they're separated right now. They can join up towards long, but that doesn't seem like the last seen at the World Cup.
Sharhlasizmi? Ha, hozir men internet to'g'ri oldimda. Internet o'chib qoldi bir orada.
Bar for bar.
O'shanga hayron qoldim. Va biz Monesy bu yerda poyini yo'q qilib berdi. Qaytgan bo'lsa yaxshi. Hali o'yinni ko'ramiz oxirigacha. 5-round.
Oh, this is very dangerous for Device. He's playing with fire.
Oy, Device boost orqali hech narsa qilib bera olmayapti. Karagan low bo'lgan holatda ham qaytdi ortiga. Kyosuke. Device
trying to get his hands back on another round, but doesn't take any Hail Mary shots through smoke.
He's the right call, especially with all that extra damage on Rain, whether they know it or not. He's vulnerable.
Stuck in behind the car.
Rain double kill. Nico bilan killga esa Device javob qaytardi. Volmay bilan o'tib tashlabdi. 3-2 vaziyat. Monesy ko'rdi. Info bor. Ulgurmayapti. 10% jon bilan tirik qoladi endi Monesy. Kyosuke esa round yutishga harakat qilib ko'radi. Kyosuke
that looming threat of a CT push through this thick smoke.
Bomba hali o'rnatilganicha yo'q. Mana endi o'rnatilyapti. Monesy qayerga tashlab berildi va Kyosuke ham half HP ilg'ol foiz bilan tirik qolgan. Kyosukedan birinchi kill Kyosuke. Birga bir clash. Device ga qarshi Monesy. Kim olib chiqadi bu raundni? Ay ay ay, pistolet bilan lovligini bilardi chunki Monesyni u. 3-2.
So he finishes what he starts. And
Yomon
another
emas.
impactful moment here for Device to cut that lead from Falcons down to 1.
And it's actually, it's a 4v5 win as well. Yeah, with that collateral damage. Insane that Ray does this. Low HP, like he's surely only going to get one kill. Somehow with just a full spray manages with just the combination of good movement to avoid all those shots that were coming his direction. Heals up too.
What's really wild is he actually went from 2 health to 1 health in between these kills. Yeah, something hit him.
Big Norwegian guy like him.
6-chi round boshlandi. Device.
I don't know how the hell he hung on for dear life, but he finds his impact and just a good enough distraction as well.
Agar bu round ham yutqizib qo'ysa bular, ancha qiyin bo'ladi o'ziga.
Question here for Falcons as we see a Tech 9 in Kerrigan's hands.
Looks like they're going to keep this one dead simple as well.
Nico. Rain. B'ga kirishga harakat qilib ko'rishadi. Device'dan miss-shot Kerrigan bitta kill amalga oshirmoqda. Poy esa uni rasmiy qilib bera oldi. Rain hozircha yashamoqda, lekin full blind holatida. Kyosuke'dan yaxshi hit, tezda low. 11% jon bilan tirik qolgan Poy. Info yo'q hozircha ko'rdi Poyni, bo'ldi. U haqida ham bilishadi endi.
And Falcons, even with that limitation for Kerrigan, walks the Tech 9 through the mid doors, finds a kill for his efforts, and a round win swiftly with it.
Save qilishadi hamda 4-2 ko'rinishga yetib keladi hisob.
In a moment like that, even with a teammate to trade right away, that's enough to just ruin your plans. And that'd be my only concern with 100 Thieves in terms of like being optimistic. Like Device is not Astralis Days Device is, you know, the most consistent positioning player and just all the shots he hits.
Oh, Monesy eng so'ngida o'tib ketdi Sirani.
But you're not going to get that consistency out of him again, right? In his career, it's not going to happen. But when you got to go blow for blow, players like Monesy on the other side, I don't know.
I love that Kerrigan knew once he got that dink, he had to commit to trying to get that kill. Support or not for the Opera out middle. Can't let a chance at that opening kill go to the wayside. So to me, but doesn't take this. Elbow perhaps. The chance.
It's long, but you know, that doesn't seem like the...
Do it.
Doesn't get a second. Leaves Device alone. Has to hit the shot, and he'll get 2.
Yep, that'll do it. Nico, 33 health in a 1v4.
Bitta liniya bo'lib qolibdi-da.
And found a great pickup in the offseason.
7-chi round va fast o'ynashyapti. Fast B Kyosuke Makten'da Flame Steel'da sakrab kirib keldi. Poydan double kill bo'lib bo'lmay qoldi. Ham tezisini yo'q qilib bera oldi va Poy triple kill amalga oshirib bermoqda. Monesy hamda Nico tirik qolishdi 4 kishiga qarshi.
Poy with a bit of a robbery on that one as they just
Zo'r
go
o'ynab berdi
smashing into this B bomb site. Nico tasked to plant in a moment. Tunnel's arrival is there and the smoke now fades.
Device'dan easy killmi? Device'dan mid shot. Eshigidan kirib kelgan Gizmi bitta kill amalga oshirib berdi. Monesy'dan qilingan kill bor, lekin Sira razmenda 4-3.
3 kills on a very explosive
ham
moment
osonlik bilan yengilish niyati yo'q.
One that's going to cost them around.
That's awesome. That's a great look from Poy, and we really haven't talked about the new guys, but lots of great things to say about them for sure. They have such a strong structure on their team to set them up for success and to really show off their potential, as they'll certainly get better and better as time goes on as well.
Turnir yutuq qancha? Umumiy yutuq bu blast nimasida, nima deydi? Tam yutqizgan komanda masalan qarang, hozir 100 CV'sda 0 turibdi. Falconslarda necha mingidan bounty'si? o'sha bounty'sini yutib oladi, tipa falconlarni yutsa, pul 100 seviska o'tadi. Mana shunaqa bo'lib ketadigan turnirda bu. Bir-birini pulini yutib yuradigan. Kyosuke. Kyosuke tekshirmayapti po'yni pozitsiyasini va po'y yana double kill. Yana double kill, lekin bu safar longni to'liq egallab oldi. Gizmi bilan birgalikda keyingi raundda pul yo'q. Falconlarda Nikoda Deagle, Monesy AWP'da Niko AWP'ni beradi hozir. Device'ni AWP'dagi igrokda pik qilib ketdi. Yo, o'zi o'ynayapti AWP'da.
No, Nico, you're the opper. All right.
Said I'll give you a reason.
Qiziq. O'zi o'ynab bermoqchi.
He totally just could. Might even should.
Nico.
He did just win a major though, so he can kind of.
Yana Deagle oldi bo'liga. Undan ko'ra AWP'ni berib ketsa kerak edi Monesy.
Give Monesy the op.
He said, also let me entry. I'll keep the op, let me entry. Just listen and learn.
Deagle'da chiqib ko'rmoqchi. Tekshirmayapti. Mana. Poy, quadro kill, ikkita round faqat Poy o'ynab berdi deb aytsak ham bo'ladi bemalol.
To close out and we've got a tied game at 4 rounds all.
Yeah, right.
Quad kill out of Poy.
Mad competitive to kick off.
With that eagle shot, though, I do understand why Nico switches back to the side.
Zayru. Ustamaga donatchun katta rahmat. Yana bir marta.
They're major champions.
Kichkina Islom bilan Muhammad Yusufga salom aytavering, xursand bo'lib ketsinlar. Islom Muhammad Yusuf. Salom. Sizlarga yaxshimisiz? Charchamayapsizlarmi? Omad ishlarga. Rahmat aka, Rusnoga donatchun. Katta kontorchi bo'lib ketinglar. O smoke ichida yaxshigina damage va Monesy 5% jon bilan bu round eco. Shunchaki berib yorish kerak xolos. Keyingisida fullbackga qarshi fullback ko'ramiz. 100 CV esa hisobda oldinga o'tib olishadi.
That's practicing.
Bir-birini pulni yutsa nima keragi bor, grand finalda yuraversin, bir-biri bilan o'ynaydi. Qarang, bitta yutadi, bitta yutqizadi. Mana shunaqa. Yutqizgan payti qanaqa tushuntirsam ham. Masalan, Hotu adashmasam yutgandan keyinmi $15,000 oldi. Keyingi safar yutqizsa 15,000 beradi-yu, o'zi 15,000 bilan qaytadi. Tipa mana shunaqa. U 15,000 raqib jamoaga qo'shiladi. Yomonot tashladi lekin bu yerda.
You've got 100 thieves with a lead.
Qaytaraylar. O'zi pavtor qo'yib beray ekanmi yoki? Reynna spreyni ko'rdinglar? 1 2 3 bitta spreyda 4 ta igrok.
Get a little wide mid sprints. Rain given the shooting gallery. Nice clean control. The spray going too well to be the Falcons.
Echo Cobra Rain.
And also maybe 100 Thieves like loosening up their
Blade
expectations, maybe coming in a little bit hyped, maybe a little nervous, but just playing better.
Trenirovka qilamiz. Mirazdagi yaxshimisiz, charchamayapsizmi, brat? Diplomni oldingizmi yo endi beradim hammaga hali?
Kerrigan said it at the major. It almost doesn't matter who they play against. Throughout his career, he's always played to the level of his opponents.
Device. Smoke. Qiynaldi Device.
It's made for some exhilarating games.
Lekin bitta kill qiladimi deyman-da. Yo, qaytdi Device ortiga va yana midga yallab olishga harakat qilmoqchi Falconlar. Monesy shotni tekshirishga o'tdi. 5 ta kalashda hujum o'tishga harakat qilib ko'rishadi. Agarda bu raund ham qo'ldan boy bersa, keyingisi Echo va 12-raundda fullbackga qarshi fullback ko'ramiz degan. Raskilar tashlab berildi Kyosuke. Carrigan.
Got Device on a strong sight line.
Device. Va Misshot Device'dan Kyosuke'mi Carrigan pick qilib ko'rayotgan ekan uni.
Just trying to scare him a bit.
Va Kyosuke Gizmini minus qilib bera oldi. Device'da 48% jon bilan tirik qolgan 5 ga 4 vaziyat. Yana Rain o'sha pozitsiyada. Qani endi avtomatik bolalarga qarshi ham xuddi shunaqa o'ynab berilar ekan. Monesy zo'r aylanayapti lekin longdan push qilish kerak oxirigacha borishi kerak. Ulguradi shunda bemalol. Ulgurmadi.
A very quiet Falcons at the moment. We hit 20 seconds,
Kerrigan
4 players up inside of the
20 sekund vaqtida break kirib kelishadi
middle on his own. And even that
Rain.
smoke is now soon to
Rain
fade.
bitta minus bor.
Rain gets
Wo,
his
line up'da qarang, line up'da qarang. Yana boydan triple kill Kerrigan orqasida tekshiryapti. Tekshirdi. Ulgurdimi? 10 sekund vaqt device tomonidan tutib olindi. Poy. Yana bitta muhim raundni hal qilib berdi. UCVS jamoasiga.
Coming off the pause, this one's a little bit timid out of the Falcons. I think obviously we saw a moment there with the mid punish. They just come forward with that split. There's actually no response available for 100 Thieves at all. And it could have been a full strength split through the window and the door, but they thought they had to work a little extra hard to make that happen.
11-round boshlandi. Half buy. Keyingi round pul yetadi. Monesyda ham AWP sotib olishga.
Would have been in a very
Gizmi
spot with a proper
ana
split.
komandada o'ynardi. Gizmi, Azuvu, Rainwakerlar bitta komandada o'ynardi. Nima ular komandasini ismini eslolmayman. Tazas oldinga yurishga harakat qilib ko'radi. Bu yerda saydda turgan Gizmi bor. Kerrigan Monte, tuppa to'g'ri. Monteda.
Looking to try to strong arm their way to the B site again, but you've got Poi in position.
Tazas. Oho, hamma yozdi o'zi.
This is a Falcons not working with much.
B'ga kirishga harakat qilib ko'rsatdi. Poyni ko'rsatsinlar bizga bo'l. 12 ga 5 kd deyapti. Poy hozir yana o'zi kamida bir triple kill bor-da. Device tazasini yo'q qilib berdi. Poydan bitta minus. Double poydan 3-sini tutib bersa. Midda hech kim yo'q. Niko. Voy, Quadro. Yana bitta round Quadro kill.
This is a strong sight between
Gap
him
bo'lishi mumkin
and
emas
Rain.
Rain.
It's been a beautiful half so far from Poi. Lots of highlight moments, both on the retake and on the holds.
Sitting comfortably 16-5 off of that mowdown.
Afrazo ular Luminosga ketdi, Gizmina. Tarqalib ketdi hammasi iroqlar. Ular 4 iroq Luminosga Gizmina va fullbayga qarshi fullbay 7-4 hisob hujumda 4 ta round. Nu yomon emas. 7-5 qilib qo'ysa agar keyin pistolet round yutadigan bo'lsa hisob tenglashtirib bo'ladi shu bahonada Falconlar. Bo'lmasa biz sekin 3 ta karta ko'rishgacha ham bo'lsa bo'ladi.
Kerrigan tries to get the jump up catwalk in what will be the Falcons' final attempt on the T side.
Monesy
had to wait for guns.
Sira smoke ichida.
Squandered the
O
chance.
Monesy Sira tutib berdi. Smoke tarqalgani bilan minus qilinmoqda. Device'ga shortdagi igroq Device qaysi tomonga qarashni bilmayapti. Short chiqib keldi. O bu yerda yordam ham bor ekan Device'ga. Gizmi yordam berayotgan ekan. 4-4 vaziyat Kerrigan yo'q qilib berilgan. Longdan chiqib kelish boshlandi va Niko Gizmini minus qilib bermoqda. Device Monesyni tutib olishga tayyorgarlik va timinglar Device'ga qarshi ishladi. Desak yo'q, tezasi yo'q qilib beroldi va Poydan ham qilgan kill bor Kyosuke. Device yo'q qilib bergan. Poy o'qitib gap qoldi Kyosuke yetib kelganida va nihoyat Kyosuke o'zining 12-chi killni amalga oshirib berdi va Rain 2ga 1 qilishda 45 soniya atrofida vaqt. Kyosuke esa bomba nurasi bilan ovora. Monesy tekshirdi, lekin Rain 2ga 1 round olib beradi. Bitta headshot hal qilib qo'yadi va Raindan 2ga 1 clutch Kyosuke hamda Monesyga qarshi 8-4 tayyor 5-raundini berib yubordi Falconlar.
What was a Falcons 3-0 start winds up being a 4-round half.
Would you say that you're a grumpy person?
Bilmayman, men quvonch.
I'm very much a grumpy person. I think that
It's not even a week ago that my boss told me that I need to stop complaining so much. So yeah.
Nima o'yin bu? Turnir bu, turnir. Like bosmaganlar, like'larni bosib qo'yinglar. 1200 ta odam ko'rib turgan ekan. Bitta like'dan keyin 1050 ta like'lar.
Fuck you Apex used to be.
Hali bosmagan bo'lsanglar, hozir bosib qo'yishinglar.
At the beginning, but now it just I'm like change. Like come on guys, it's been 2 years now.
I could be a grand competitor with the China.
I could eat it off stuff, but sometimes it's annoying.
I find it more harder to find something good.
We go a lot to Copenhagen, and they always make potatoes. Like every day is potatoes.
For example, when I was in Japan for vacation with my wife, the food there was insane, and in China,
Yo,
it's like 50-50, I would say.
You know, yeah.
Nemesis 16-14 ga yutib
Yeah, lots of stuff. But the ends, I think they already know potatoes. Going home and getting your mom's food, like that's like.
16-14 ga yutibdi va 3-kartani o'ynaydi ular. Keyinroq Mirage o'ynaydi.
You end up missing it somehow. But I think something that's is so underrated for us is the bread, like baguettes. Like when you travel a lot, the bread are not as good as our bread and cheese are.
Bizga ham kimlar o'ynaydi? Qaysidir komanda bilan 30-iyulda o'ynaydi. Kimlar o'ynasa emas. Lekin ko'ramiz uni o'yinni.
The worst thing that can happen to me is when people just throw random grenades and they don't say anything about it. Communicating really bad on that saying when you
turnirda yutganligida общий komandani KS bo'yicha emas. Vitality'ning komandani hamma o'yinda yutgani.
Die because of it. Not listening.
Like one of the first rounds. Everyone buys and one guy.
Rayni yo'qotganlarni sizdan yo'q lekin aka.
Playing just
Nimani aytayotganingizni
like they just play face it to play on the sides and I'm like, guys, it's a team game. Let's try to play together.
You get bad habits from it, and it's much different than on official because you can get punished, and from punish you pay. If you lose the match, you are out of the event. If you lose that face,
yarim stream qilmadigan
you can play more.
People play so bad in practice. They don't care. They just push. They do individual moves that they will never do matches, etc. It just annoys me.
It's not giving
uni yana подпискani bosib qo'yish esingizdan chiqmasa. Stream boshlanganda sразу yetib boradi keyingi streamlarimizda.
I tend to complain about when I have to do other people's jobs for them. Players like should be fixing his lineup for a grenade, but instead I have to go do it for him. If my teammates forget about strats and they don't have notes, it makes me really hungry as well at them. The one thing I've complained about in all of CSGO, all of CS2 is how accurate you are when you're jumping.
Spirit ertaga o'ynaydi, Vitality inning kuniga o'ynaydi. Furia'ni ham o'yna inningga.
To play so much matchmaking in CSGO and you could tell that the bullets are not going as same as 128 tick and yeah, I don't like static to be honest.
It is fine that some pistols or SMGs are a bit more accurate, but it should never be a thing that you can like jump and it's good for you, you know, which is like it is in a lot of cases. So yeah, I would say that thing.
Poi with a mouth-watering first
Poi
half
zo'r
has
o'ynab
put
berdi
Falcons
haqiqatan.
on notice and left them with a
Endi
measly
T'dagi
4
o'yinni
round
ko'ramiz.
T-side. Now,
Yussi
unfortunately for Poi, it wouldn't be
T'da qanaqa
the
hujumga
first
o'tishar ekan.
great performance that doesn't net a map win we witness tonight. Talk to Flamus.
Okay.
Talk to poor Flamus.
Tazas.
Yeah, well, but they've got Gizmy though.
That they do.
Gizmy with a game plan.
Tazas 1ga 9 yuribdimi?
Maybe they can make something of it.
Certainly
Qulab
enough to
qolgan bu Tazas.
test
Umuman
the
o'yin o'xshamayapti uni.
Falcons.
Monesy yaxshi pozitsiyada turib olgan va Monesy birinchi kill Sira tomonidan razmen qilib berildi.
Obviously, it's a one and done down in the lower tunnels.
Maqsadi lekin salgina ko'proq kill topish edi.
Do not
Tazas.
waste Poi's efforts.
Tazas. Unlucky emi deymanda bu Tazas uchun. Niko
Still obviously Anubis
Flash
waiting in
tashlab
the
bersa
wings
Carrigan
of
Niko
this
pick qilishga
series.
tayyor. Device juda ham yaqin kelib oldi.
See if Device gets in front of it.
Flash, zo'r flash tushdi lekin Sira full blind holatda Nikoni yo'q qilib bermoqda. 3 rokni ko'rishgan. Carrigan hech narsa qila olmayapti. Poyidan headshot bor va katta ehtimollik bilan bu 9-raund. Kyosuke yetib keldi. Gizmi va Kyosuke tayminglarda ko'rdi. Easy kill. Tezasdan ham headshot bor Poyiga. 2-2 vaziyat. Device low. Agar Tezas yashab turganida Kyosukedan kill bor va Tezas hali ham yashamoqda. Tezas Sira tomonidan yo'q qilib berildi. Sira 25% jon bilan. Kyosuke oldi menimcha. Oldi Kyosuke bu yerda 2ga 4 raund Falconlar foydasiga hal bo'lmoqda.
Now both pistols in this series.
Общий shot Bruno Falcons oldinda va hozir pistoletni yutib berdi Kyosuke. Tezas ham bitta minus amalga oshirib berdi. 3 ta kill esa Kyosuke solo o'zi hal qildi. Bu turnirga qo'shmaymiz aytishdi lekin.
Could not have gone better on the attack. Gives me just tucked a little bit. he was looking for the jump up, obviously, towards Xbox. It's just really nice from Kyosuke to be scaling that way up through the top of mid. He made that look extremely easy.
14-chi round boshlandi.
What could go wrong? In the face of the 100 Thieves force buy.
Monesy. Nikodan qayashga. Va Monesy. AWPda 8 o'qdi, 18% jon bilan tirik qoladi Sira. Agar hozir force buy qilib kelgan jamoa, ya'ni 100 bu raund yutqizib qo'yadigan bo'lsa, keyingisida full ekoda harakatlanishga to'g'ri keladi. Bu degani hisobni 8 u 7 ko'rinishgacha olib kelish uchun yaxshigina shans bor Falconlarda. KTda menimcha berib qo'ymasa kerak deb o'ylayman Falconni. Sizlar nima deb o'ylaysizlar? 3 tamayib ko'ramizmi yoki 2 tada tugaydimi o'yin? Gizmi. Kyosuke.
Monesy's in a tough spot at the moment. If Nico's stuck down in CT spawn.
Va Monesy. Shortdan kirib kelishi mumkin bo'lgan igroqlar. Va Monesydan miss shot side to'liq berib yuborildi. Carrigan oxirigacha kutdi hamda poyini yo'q qilib bermoqda, lekin ikkinchi igroq ham bor bu yerda. Monesydan ikkita miss. Niko kutmaydi orqadan yetib kelayotgan. Carrigan Gizmi tutib oldi va yetib keldi. Rain chiqib keldi bu yerda. Rain oy. Nikoga ham ajoyib headshot. 20 soniya atrofida vaqt. Kyosuke juda ham yaqin, lekin bitta spray kontrol hal qiladi hammasini. Tezas razmenga o'ynab berdi. Bu o'zini stilida, ya'ni Falconlarning stili. Bitta igroq yugurib chiqadi, ikkinchisi turgan joyda otib beradi. Kyosuke o'zini sotdi, lekin Tezas yutib berdi raundni. Rain juda sekin harakatlandi.
Just in time to kind of guarantee that spot, and yeah, Tezas' third kill. And it's Kerrigan's 2K. The Famas falling back and clipping one off on the A side. He got everyone dead before Rain could really come forward that flank. Disaster averted.
Falcon ikinchi map, ya'ni dastik
for now. Three digs for the Thieves.
Qo'ydim Paul. 15-round. Gizmi. Kyosuke. Va full eco round 8 u 7 bo'lar ekanmi? Carrigan, poy, Nikoni ham o'ldirib bersa edi, juda chiroyli highlight ko'rgan bo'lar edik.
No shortage of multi-frags this map.
Ya, biladi, ataylab aytib turdi anchana. Ya, bu degan, chunki avval ko'rganman-da bunaqa rasmligi yoki boshqa odam bo'lishi ham mumkin.
Not wanting to lose the bomb in the process and looking to go join his teammates, all of which on Xbox.
4ga 4 vaziyat va 3 ta igroq hozir, ya'ni Gizmi ham qo'shilib boradi. 4 kishi bo'lib shortdan kirishga harakat qilib ko'rishadi. Bu yerda yana Monesyni sinab ko'rishar ekan. Flash bormi? Hech qanaqa utility yo'q. Shunchaki yugurib chiqib kelishlariga to'g'ri keladi. Niko va yaxshi buz, lekin Monesy Sirani tutib berdi. Yordam beradimi yo'q longdagi Niko? O'zi qiyin ahvolda buni. Monesy Gizmini ham minus qilib bermoqda. Bomba esa device tomonidan o'rnatilindi. Rain orqadan o't olmaydi-ya, Deagle'da. Device'ni Kyosuke sakrab o'tib tashlayapti. 18 ga 9, 2 kadaga chiqib oldi Kyosuke.
You know, I wasn't sure if he'd actually miss or not. I just thought it'd be a worthwhile bet to take.
And it paid. Good on you.
Looks like one weird round for Monesy, and that's it. A one
like
round
bosmaganlar o'zi like'larni sekin 1200 ga chiqarib qo'yaylik. O'zi stream chiqyaptimi? Rekomendatsiyada ko'rindimi?
Kyosuke is starting to tap into an individual performance that could match that of Poi.
Yeah. And he's who you brought up after, like, again, with, you know, after Antwerp with Kerrigan, that team just already going through so much together.
16 round.
Growing old together. With the Falcons, that's not the case with Kyosuke. You know,
8
just early on in his career, just getting
79% odam, ya'ni hozircha ovoz berganlarning orasida o'zi 100 tacha odam ovoz berdi. Polni yopib qo'yamizmi? 80% odam hozircha Falconlar yutadi deb
we saw the talent. Now we know that he's not dog, obviously, but still.
Device Molotov raskidlar tashlab berildi. Ko'ramiz. Gizmini o'yini ochilmayapti. Sira ham unaqa o'yin olmayapti. Poi atak hozir. Kyosuke nima ish qilayotgan bo'lsa, Falconlarda Poi YouTubers jamoasida xuddi shunaqa statistikada o'ynamoqda. Device raskidlar tashlandi.
Why did it take you so long?
This Counter-Strike thing is easy.
Carrigan.
Some more than others.
Tezasdan push lekin hech kimni topa olmayapti. Device shortdan o'ynashga harakat qilib ko'radi. Bu yerda yana Monesy'da qolib ketdi. Long bilan short o'ynashmoqchi. Device'da yaxshigina shans bor. Smoke. Bu ikkita qaytishga yomon yetib keldi. Monesy bilan Carrigan shortni egallab olishdi. Carrigan xato o'ynamaslik kerak. Rain esa smoke'ni kutadi oxirigacha. Carrigan hamda Rain o'rtasidagi duel kim birinchi ko'rsa o'sha yutib beradi va Monesy bu yerda miss shot. Rain chiqib beradi. Rain chiqib beradi. Monesy tutib berdi, bitta keldi. Hozircha ko'rgani yo'q. Kyosuke orqada, Kyosuke orqada. Voy, jinni ekan bular, jinni ekan bular. Smoke ishdan chiqib kelgan. Rain hozir round yutib berishi mumkin. Yaxshigina molotov tushdi. Lekin Gizmi ochildi o'yini hamda hisob 9-7. Bitta smoke ishdan chiqqan Rain hozir round yutib berdi. Shoshib qolishdi.
For all those seconds, but he just with his teammates dying behind him. And teammates all around him, to be honest. He thought he was fine. And that keeps the lead.
Xuddi shunaqa ban bergani uchun bo'lmayotgan. Langa o'tiladi. Keyingi bosqichdan. Playoffdan 8 ta komanda qolgandan keyin Langa bor. Bitta joyda o'ynaydi ular.
Push up into the catwalk off of the double nades. They scrambled for cat control and damn near held it back, but Rain's patience pays off.
Great nades up.
Rain yutib berdi raundni. 9-7 va oxirgi bay. Katta ehtimollik bilan hozircha Tazas 5-7 da o'ynaydi va Monesy push qilib kelganini ko'rib turibmiz. Shortga chiqib oldi. Device shortni poylab turibdi. Va Device hozir sakrab utility o'tib beradi. Molotov qaytdi. Monesy ortga yongani ham eshitilingan. Lowerdan ham bu yerda Igor yetib kelganini ko'rib turibmiz. Shunda hozir 3 ta B, bitta A side'da Monesy, Carrigan esa longni check qilib turadi. Keyingi 1 daqiqa atrofida vaqt bor. Hozircha hujumda o'ynayotgan YouTubers hisobida. Gizmi shortdan yurishini davom ettirib ko'rmoqchi bo'ldi, lekin mid-to o'ynab yuborsa kerak, chunki Rain B tomonga ancha yaqin kelib olgan. Agar mid-to round ko'radigan bo'lsak, Falconlarda hisobni ushlab qolish uchun yaxshigina shans bo'ladi. Gizmi shortda fake raskidlar, B igroklar hozircha qimirlagani ham yo'q. Sira mid-to o'ynash boshlandi. Monesy Device hozir ko'radi Kyosuke, smoke ham tashlab berilganmi? Gizmi shortdan o'ynamoqchi, Monesyni otib qo'yishi mumkin. Monesy smoke uchun check qilib turibdi, katta ehtimollik bilan va shortdan chiqib ketadi endi. Shortdan chiqib ko'rdi. Oy, tegmayapti u. Carrigan shortdan aylanib kelishga ulgurmadi. Hozircha Monesy Gizmini yo'q qilib berdi. Carrigan kutadi Rainni oxirigacha. Oy, Rain uchun easy kill. Rain uchun easy headshot. Carrigan yo'q qilib berilgan va B'dagi igroklar ham yetib kelishdi. Rain haqida informatsiya bor ularda. Yaxshi flash. Rain. Prefire bilan Kyosuke minus qilib berdi ya. Niko tomonidan razmen va 3-3 vaziyat. Diffuse kit yo'q ularda. Device yetib keldi shortga, Tazasuni juda ham yaqin. Lekin mana shu Device bu imkoniyatni qo'ldan boy bermasa kerak, katta ehtimollik bilan. Bo'ldi, safe. Yaxshi one tap. Lekin 3 ta orujani save qilib qolishadi va 10-raundni hozir o'z foydasiga hal qiladi. Hali save'ga bersa Tazas. Yana one taplar o'xshamayapti Tazasda.
Yomon portladi bu.
It really was still gives me that, you know, he had the inkling, like, let me scout a little bit. It's not a real fake, but I'm throwing some nades up
Falcons
cap.
il butter
Nobody's
shot
putting
nimaga
pressure on
Brad
me.
tinchmasiz.
Yes, he dies here, but it's already the decision made to come back from the B split, which would have ran into 3 players.
Butter shot. Ya 3,5 ming elon qaytarsa keyin butter shot ular. Ungacha shotir bot bo'lib turadi.
This puts his team in a very good position.
Like bosmaganlar, butter shotdan like bosmagan. Sirat like bosib qo'ying. 1200 ta qo'ylik likelar. Hali qila olmaymiz.
Oh boy. That's a lot of
Va bizda 18-raund. Kyosuke tezas. Bu Kerrigan double kill yutdi. Gap bo'lishi mumkin emas. Lekin Poyini qaranglar. Poyi ham chiqib tezasini yo'q qilib berdi. 2-2 vaziyat. Bomba Poyining qo'lida va bomba bemalol o'rnatilishi mumkin.
What do you even do here? I mean, this is obviously more difficult for Device, who has to go all the way around the map to join up with his teammate. Poy might be hoping that he can find a way out of B. He doesn't know that the CTs are joined up inside of tunnels and they're taking their time.
Oh, Poy. Ko'rmadi. Poy ko'rmadi, lekin Niko ko'rdi. No, Device ana aylanib kelyapti.
But he only sees one.
They're still considering that there's somebody outside of the tunnels, not the case.
But I mean, surely when Device...
Agar Device o'zi lowerdan aylanib kelsa, yo Niko tekshirdi, aynan mana shuni o'qigan holatda, no lowerdan emas, to'g'ridan to'g'ri eshikdan o'ynashni tanladi, ya'ni middan to'tilib keladi. Ya, katta ehtimol bilan Falcon yutqazdimi deb o'ylayman bu raundda. Va Device timinglarni tekshirdi va Device Nikoni minus qilib bermoqda. Monesy 2 ga 1 clashda 30 soniya atrofida vaqt yetmaydi hech narsaga.
And Monesy tucks tail and gets out of there. Kerrigan's double USP
Yaxshigina shansda Kerriganning qilgan 2 ta killi 11-7 ko'rinishga yetib keladi hisob.
You know, for Boy, it's hard to kill him. You have to retake B to do it. He just has to trust that Device knows what to do ultimately. A safer route around the map to lock this in, but Monesy, he still sees odds.
No kit. Close enough to pull this off. He's going to have to catch them by surprise. And Molotov announces his intentions. Headshots quick, but he eats that second one instantly.
Diffuse yo'q shu.
Trying to hunt him down, but
Device qaraylar, qimirlamagan.
And he just looks to depart in the end.
O'ldi. Hamma o'ladi. Save qilishga qo'yib bermayapti. 11-7 hisob. 11-7. Tezas o'yna olmayapti. Xuddi shu fikrga ham qo'shilaman. Ozgina web kameradan problema bo'lib qopti, tinchgina mana boylarni kamerasiga o'tkazib. Qaranglar, Kerrigan. Ikkita headshot.
In spite of their guns, they had the
Yana Tezas check qilgan joyda o'lib qoldi.
It's just ironically their weaker guns getting the kills.
19-raund boshlandi. Fullbayga qarshi Fullbay 11-7 hisob. Anubis ko'ramizmi deyman bu ketishda. Niko va Poy mana shu igrok lekin juda prime formada o'ynab beryapti. Sira Kerrigan yo'q qilib berdi. 5 ga 3 vaziyat. GG degani bu.
They are closing the deal now. 3-on-5 as soon as the buy comes back in. Full long control. Don't have to overthink this one.
Monesy.
It's this unexpected lights out performance out of Poi. Just a constant threat to the Falcons.
Wanna take give you all. Turtga 12 tezas. Salgina unlucky tezas.
3-0 starts each half for Falcons. 1 round otherwise.
True, yeah, they do this with the pistols.
Both pistols, both full conversions.
Prosta yutqizgan jamoa turniri tark etadi. Agar Falcon Anubisni ham o'yini kelmay yutqizib qo'ysa bu komandaga bilmamdi. Santar Respik, Murodbek, Danat uchun katta rahmat. Gizmi side egallanib bo'lindi. Va bomba o'rnatilmoqda. 3 ta igrok esa save qilishga qarab yo'l olishadi.
You know, you're on boot camp, you're coming out of the player break, and Falcons look fantastic.
Kyosuke oyoqdan o'q qabul qilib olmoqda.
Just the old ruse. You know, Poi, by the way, bottom performer back on Nuke as well, just to really add
Real zo'r
more
o'ynadi.
unknown entities
Gap
to
bo'lishi
all of
mumkin
this. He was
emas.
5 and 14 on
Ayniqsa
Nuke, and then
Poi,
pulls this
Rain mana
performance
shu
out of
ikkita
the
igrok
hat,
yutib berdi-da.
and totally upends the story that was
Poi
meant to be
bilan Rain.
Falcons starting the season flawlessly.
Kerakli joylarda 100 ga o'ynab berdi va
Nubis will
Moltda ham
remain a question
tushmagani.
mark as 100
Bombani
Thieves secures their
portlashini hozir
12th.
igroklarni ko'zdan tomosha
Again,
qilamiz.
3-0 start each half, one round otherwise. Why wouldn't they be able to close this?
Map point. Comeback berishmadi hozircha. O'sha ikkita round yutgani. Ha, 3 ta round yutgan. 8-4 dan keyin 8-7 gacha. Sira. İkinci mavsum boşlandı mı? Boşlandı.
The Falcons trying to take action at the start of the round.
Nico.
Trying to find a solution to the onslaught, but testing through mid doors goes Sira. No hesitation here for 100 Thieves on the approach.
Molotov va raskilar tashlab berildi. Bu yerda device. No scope mi device'dan yo'q. Ortga qaytib oldi Gizmi. Ancha-muncha damage qabul qilib olgan. Va Kerrigan Gizmini keyingi raundga jo'natmoqda. Sira B'dagi igrokni yo'q qilib berdi va mana endi B'da birozgina ehtiyot bo'lishlari kerak. Kyosuke uchun yaxshigina shans. Va Kyosuke esa Poyini yo'q qilib bermoqda. 4-3 vaziyat. Sira KTni to'liq egallab oldi. Niko Razvey hech kimni ko'rgancha yo'q.
That would mean man disadvantage reclaimed by
Yomon turib olishgan Rain ham. Va Kerrigan Sirani yo'q qilib berdi. 4-2 vaziyat. Device va Rain duosi 4 kishiga qarshi raundni davom ettirishlariga to'g'ri keladi. Device Misshot Device'dan bomba esa o'rnatilgan. Va Device Kyosuke'ni yo'q qilib berdi. O'z esa atiga 10% jon bilan tirik qolmoqda. 3-2 vaziyat. Diffuse kit Niko hamda Kerrigan'da bor.
As bomb nears the halfway point, they're trying to set themselves up with the utility that they've still got, a flash included.
Round yutib ketishini bilmadim-da.
Incendiary goes over. We've got a Molotov.
Raskilar tashlab berilmoqda. Vasikelik bilan retake qilishga kirib kelishdi va Device hozirgacha tirik va Rain Nikoni yo'q qilib berdi. Device'dan no scope. Kerrigan'dan kill ulgurmaydi. Ulgurmaydi defuse qilishga. GG Turkiya 2 round yutib berdi Device va Rain.
Shutting down this Dust 2 in convincing fashion.
Yana 15 daqiqalik pauza bizda.
That was an
Hozir buni yozib qo'yaman.
way to close out a map. Just when you think maybe the time is going to be on his side of Maui, it isn't.
Falcons versus
a little bit too short, but of course it's not just that moment.
UST deb yozaman. Ikkinchi map shunday qilib 15 minut, ya'ni 0-0 32da boshlanadi. Telegram kanalimizga obuna bo'lmaganlar bo'lsa, Telegram kanaliga o'tib qo'yinglar, linkini tashlayman. O'yin boshlandi deb xabarni ham tashlab qo'yamiz, chunki biz sirazu o'yin boshlanishi bilan.
Too much in the pregame. There's just so many other narratives in play, but I'm so pleased to see him play at this level because he is.
Mayli, biz birinchi kundan unaqa tez stream tugashini xohlamamiz-da, bular prosta sizlar shuni tushuninglar. Anubis yonadi, YouTubega qaytgan. Rahmat aka. Telegram kanaliga o'tib olsanglar ham zo'r bo'ladi. Hali obuna bo'lmaganlar bo'lsa, shu kanalga ham obuna bo'lib qo'yishingizdan chiqarmanglar. O'yinni highlightlari manisi hozir 2-3 minutda qaytaman. YouTubega qaytgansiz uchun ishtakarda deydilar, xuddi shu.
I would say that that's definitely one aspect. I mean, I think the finisher there on the T side was probably due in part to how he wanted to construct the round, but I can't, even though I want to double down on my narrative here, Nat, I definitely think that a little bit more of the credit here goes to some of the individuals. I don't know if it was always Gizmi telling them to get double kills every time Falcons decides to challenge them on the B-bomb side. And that's probably more of my narrative, what I'd lean into on this one, because simply put, I'm also really impressed with Rain because he has
like like'larni ham bosib qo'yamiz.
We've seen him on thus far today in terms of the nuke.
Lekin juda ko'p clutch ko'rdik bu kartada.
CT and T side all new. So turns out you can teach an old dog new tricks here.
you know, there was that question about it, right? It isn't just necessarily a new IGL coming in, but it's also what happens when you're no longer IGL, right? The expectation is that you step up, and it's not like he necessarily ever stepped down, but it does feel like Rain is taking it to another level. You're right, there's so many individual players from the side of 100 Thieves in this map that really shined, but Rain especially looked great up there with Poi.
I am seriously, I'm impressed in how rehabs have played out for Rain today. That's what's crazy about it. But you know, if we're gonna focus on Poi here, I mean, his highlights are all queued up, and he chose so many good starting positions. Like, I want to highlight that in a handful of these rounds, he's playing towards B. He was at long A. I feel like this was. I mean, this happened a couple years ago, but if people didn't remember this, Poi set the single highest kill counts in regulation in an official game in CS2. He actually beat Donk's record, and it was like seeing Donk play here versus Falcons, because Donk on his prime for Dust 2 games on CT side, he'll choose wherever he wants to go any given round. It's like he's an opper where he'll just decide, do I want to push lower? Do I want to start B? Do I want to start at A? Where am I going to go next to get a multi-kill? And that's what you got out of Poi, who I am so glad that 100 Thieves have been working with this guy. I'm so glad that we're seeing him on a team that has this much potential, because you know, they did strip him from the Swedish scene. They took him from eyeballers, but I want to see the best players play on the best possible rosters that are available for him. And I hope that Poi continues to blossom, because this guy is definitely going to be a star one day.
Yeah, you're willing to let him go over, see him sort of depart from that Swedish scene if it means there's going to be great success. And of course, he looked fantastic. I feel like even if they don't necessarily go on to win this best of 3, Poi himself has definitely made himself a night terror of the Falcons camp after this one. And of course, the other player that we were talking about briefly just before was Rain. You've talked about Poi, how he was able to have great positioning, get a lot of multi-frags for himself, but a very pivotal round is where we saw Rain be able to get a great 2K after a smoke ended up dissipating.
I can't believe how great Rain has been actually at lurking, even in just the 2 maps of T-sides that I've watched thus far. We obviously have this round playing out where opening kill goes the way of Falcons, and Rain just kind of bides his time. This is just the old man experience, you know? Look for a win condition here. If you charge through at the wrong time, if you don't let your teammates cause a bit of a distraction, you're going to be peeking too early. You're just going to be gray screen going through it. He also won a 1v1 versus Kyosuke off of the catwalk earlier, because he went into the smoke, then swung out with full velocity. Like, those little moves, they still actually really pay off for somebody like him, where you think that he's older, he's just gonna stand in the wide open, he's just gonna pick a bad time. I mean, I love what I've seen from Rain today. I thought that it was, you know, it was a little bit more of a toss-up. Should they have kept Agile instead of Rain? But the experience is already showing up, and I think that it's no secret that Rain plays to the level of his opposition. When he sees that it's Falcons in the server against him today, he's gonna absolutely lock in, 100% focus. So 2 pivotal rounds that he won, but yeah, that smoke play was devastating for Falcons.
Yeah, and there was that extra layer of 100 Thieves sort of explaining their pick in Falcons. Yes, again, they didn't have a lot of options when it came to their turn to get to choose, but they were still very happy and confident in their Falcons pickup, because they said that's, you know, a lot of familiarity between players on both sides, but also just a lot of comfort, whether that's coming out from Gizmi and of course Rain there as well. So it's just knowing the players to a level that we necessarily don't even know. So you're able to do that next level there. And so, yeah, it's nice to see that translated and to actually see them really step up. And so now we finally get our first game, well, map 3 here, Maui, on the evening shift. And I did not think it was going to be the series of 100 Thieves and Falcons.
No, but that's why I was still excited for it, because you just don't quite know what'll happen. And I think, though, unfortunately, stats say one thing, and I hope history says another after the end of today, because B-Tram's already brought up the fact that on the ticker there that Kerrigan is 15-1 in BO3 series versus Rain, which is just crazy in terms of that head-to-head.
But there's that one.
Yeah, but there's that one, and I'm hoping that it becomes 15-2. Because if 100 Thieves pulls this off, it would just send such a message for how 100 Thieves maybe just got away with the Gizmy sweepstakes, how they're the winners of it, and how that actually is changing the fortunes of this team. And we'll see though. We'll see. I'm getting pretty excited already though.
No, that's totally valid. You see the grind that some of these tier 1.5, 2 teams, whether we're talking about 100 Thieves specifically, or even more out of the 32 teams that we get for Blast Bounty. But you see them grind so often, whether that's through online qualifiers or online events, and then they get this opportunity. It is single elimination, so there is that pressure there. But if you make it to a round 2, it's already a great story. And if you make it to LAN, that's an even better one, right? You get this opportunity not a lot of people can get, and 100 Thieves taking it fully by the fact that they can force a map 3 here.
And who wouldn't even want to just see Rain, Device playing at a LAN already at this point in their careers? I feel like that would just be such a shock, especially doing it with the lineup in their first outing. I don't want to get too ahead of myself, but I'm also going to say there were signs with Device too, okay? That no scope actually to help close out the 2v1, the collateral kill he had in a very must-hit situation when he was stuck on the A bomb site by himself. Pivotal moments that are being determined by the youngsters like Poi and even the vets like Rain and Device.
Yeah, they have clutch in their DNA when it comes to a lot of the players on 100 Thieves, and right now they're clutching up to looking towards a map number 3. It's going to be Anubis after this break. We're going to hear a little bit more from some of our 100 Thieves players. Gizmy, thank you for joining me. You are one of the newer players on the side of 100 Thieves, but more importantly, a new IGL for them. And it feels like that's such a big task to be an IGL and coming into 4 guys that have already played together for quite some time. So how are you adjusting to that? And how are you sort of ensuring that you're still being yourself as an IGL, but letting them be themselves as players too?
Yeah, so obviously the kind of style I run is like to help the players as well. Obviously I'll run my rounds, but I put a lot of emphasis on allowing the players freedom and the ability to do their moves or aggressive plays, or lock-in lines where it may need to be locked. But for the new 4 players, like obviously we've just been having a week of practice. We're very fresh currently, so we're still making mistakes, as to be expected, but it's all good. We're just working day by day to improve on it, and it's just all about from the beginning to be like as sharp as possible from the beginning, in making sure the things are going good, and we're being strict with different plays, and what our players can do and what they can't do, and where the limits are in how we play.
Yeah, and that's a lot of in-game stuff, but there's a lot of things we don't necessarily see as well when we see you guys compete. And so I want to know, outside of what's happening in the server, how are you adjusting to such essentially big personalities on 100 Thieves?
Yeah, there's some big personalities here, but so far everyone's been very pleasant. Maybe someone switches up on me. We got some, yeah, but otherwise it's very good. Like everyone's super welcoming. Especially the older players, they are like, there's no ego. They're all super understanding, and are allowing me to play the way I want to play. And then regarding the coaching staff, like Glaive and Xander, are also very easy to work with. And like Glaive's been a great help to just with presenting the stuff to the team and like doing it in a good, orderly fashion.
Yeah, and I was also speaking to Nico a little bit earlier for his pre-match interview, and I talked about the fact that 100 Thieves had the choice between either Falcons or Spirit, but I wanted to know your point of view as well about some more info as to why you picked Falcons over Spirit. You were stuck between a rock and a hard place.
Yeah, I think, well, actually, I wasn't the one who made the decision, but I agree with the decision anyway. But I think it was a mix to do with, like, almost what the players were doing on the opposing teams. Obviously, Falcons had came off a major win, so rightfully they were enjoying a bit more holiday and stuff, and would have started practice around a similar time we did. Meanwhile, I'm pretty sure Spirit were still grinding a lot, and like the players were still staying very individually sharp. So that was one part of the reason. I mean, the other was just that like I'm very familiar with Falcons because I've played them a lot. Regarding Spirit, I've only played them in practice. So for the officials, like it just felt more comfortable for us to go with Falcons. But we'll see how the match goes. Obviously, we're a fresh team, so things will be harder. But you know, we're still very confident for the match today.
Akmal, nimaga
That
yaptınız
confidence
siz?
definitely shined and
Ko'ramiz.
came through on dust number 2, Maui, because we were like,
Assalomu
oh,
alaykum.
okay, where exactly is this coming from? We're not really seeing it. There is that level of maybe they just say it for an interview, whether it's actually there or not. But yeah, no, it was definitely there for dust. Now I'm hoping it does continue on to Anubis.
This is where I'm a little bit worried, if I'm being real, about 100 Thieves. Some of the
No.
individuals can definitely pop off. I mean, this is one of Poi's best maps in a 100 Thieves jersey. I think he had nearly 50 kills in a double overtime game, although they did lose that one to AM. But it's not really been part of the recent strengths for Gizmy. It was not part of his campaign at PGL Astana.
Eng
I
zo'r
don't
analardan
think it was
birini
really a
o'ynadi.
map
Hozir
that they
kartalardan
featured
biri
too
butun
much
faoliyatni
in
davomidagi.
their Cologne major run, and even in their CCT Global Final victory, they only played it a couple of times as a decider, only versus NIP, who themselves are not really a big Anubis team. So I just don't think that it's really
Murodbek aytdim, 3-marta katta ehtimol bilan overtime bo'ladi, rad deyiladi. Acha rahmat Murodbek. Ko'ramiz. Overtime bo'ladimi
make a
yo'qmi?
reactive play and punishing that kind of
Well,
play.
Falcon easy
That's
qo'ysa
where I think
kerak deb
Gizmy's at his
o'ylayman
best, and
Anubisda.
I just personally haven't seen it on Anubis, but maybe they've been working on it. I hope
O'yinni
they have.
boshlashdan oldin ham
Well, of course, when it comes down
uyda
to
turib ham
these
yig'ilish qilib olar
deciding
ekan.
maps, they decided to take out Mirage
Prosta
and leave
ujini
that
qayerda qilishga
Anubis
bilishibdi.
potentially being the decider. So there has to be some amount of confidence, but the stats are backing up what you're saying. 4 times played, 25% win rate for the side of 100 Thieves. And I know that's not Gizmy's exact stats, but then you do have the side of Falcons having played the same number of times on Anubis, but 100% win rate.
Yeah, I mean, the one time, they technically actually already played it today. They actually lost to NIP as a decider on Anubis. On top of that, right now, Falcons is making the case as the best Anubis team in the world. They beat all of the elite teams on it when they were asked to at Cologne. The mid-round calling from Kerrigan was a huge highlight of his run to secure his second major trophy, because I mean he had people just biting on every fake. He seemingly set up every single extremity player to collect when he was putting a lot of pressure on the middle parts of the map, whether that's in Canal or towards mid. So I feel like this is the map that Kerrigan said to his team it was our in to
ikkalasi birga
Cologne,
o'ynaganda
and
zo'r
they're
o'yin
gonna just
bo'lganda
keep
Navi Falcons
capitalizing
Anubis
on
kartasi
that momentum.
yongandi-ku.
Well, you haven't necessarily instilled me with faith that 100 Thieves are going to make it to round
Kim
2, but I know
kata
that there
bo'lib
is
o'sharkan,
still
mana shu
that
yozib
chance. We're
qo'yman.
always holding on to what might be the 25% win rate, or the one time that Rain was able to beat Kerrigan in their matchups. It could potentially be bumped up here, as we are going to see our third and final deciding map here on Anubis with Scrawny and Launders.
Ooh, you can always believe, Nat, but Maui speaks truths, and our prediction market partner has Falcons now as the favorites for this one. Polymarket's got it painted that 100 Thieves aren't able to upend versus the damning stats that are indeed skewed the way of Falcons, and Maui was dead on with it. Right? When push came to shove back at Cologne, Anubis does wind up being a feature for them and a place where they are able to just have their opponents make mistakes. And in a series where 100 Thieves have already gotten blown out of one of the maps, you know, and yes, Poi goes above and beyond on Dust 2. Total turnaround from the bottom performing player of the first map to the top performing player of the second.
Boshlandi bizada Anubis kartasi.
Here for 100 Thieves, but they'll have to try to tap into exactly that and pin it down if this upset is to truly come together.
Anubis kartasi va birinchi raund hujumda o'ynashdan boshladi Falconlar. Monesy ada Amindan push device tomonidan va Monesy timinglar ketdi. Device'da easy killlarmi? Yo'q, bu yerda Monesy hamda Kyosu kelibdi, minus savolga o'chirib berishdi va Amindagi Rain va Device keyingi raundga jo'natilmoqda. Gizmy bor hali. Gizmy ham push qilib ko'rmoqchi botini.
Even without pistols, it's incredible. Makes it
Monesy
even more impressive what 100 Thieves did back on Dust 2.
pik qilib kirib ko'rar ekanmi yo 100 olib qaytadimi ortga? Gizmi va Kyosuke hamda Monesy birgalikda pik qilib ko'rishadi, lekin Gizmi double kill qilish amalga oshirishi mumkin edi-yu, Monesy Razmenga yaxshi o'ynab berdi. Sira hamda Poylar ham shu yerda. 2 ga 4 vaziyat, B-da lurker yo'q. Round esa A-da yakunlanishga yaqin, lekin Kerrigan hali informatsiya bo'lishdan oldin kirmaydi va Monesy triple kill. Eng so'nggi gol esa Poy Monesydan quadro pistoletlarni juda ajoyib tarzda o'tkazib berdi. Falconlar g'alaba bilan boshlayapti Decider bo'lgan Anubis kartasini. Device aktyorda aktyorlar o'xshab qolgan o'sha aktyorga Tom Cruise.
It's one of the maps that's like on the less popular side obviously. It feels like was in contention to maybe get subbed out. But obviously, if you ask Falcons, I think they got some players that really like it a lot. And I think as an individual, especially someone like Monesy, there's just so many things you can do by yourself.
Ikkinchi round boshlandi.
Up and around. Bounty Thieves. Teams are 13-0 defending their first round. Wow. That's not what's supposed to happen.
Monesy.
Supposed to be upset city.
Yeah, we keep calling it that, but it really isn't.
Yeah,
Gizmi no full echo round UCV'da katta ehtimollik bilan hisob 2-0 ko'rinishiga yetib keladi va middan hozir Gizmining pozitsiyasi ham check qilinsa kerak. Kerrigan Maktenda sakrab kirishga harakat qilib ko'radi. Raskilar tashlab berdi va zur. Yomon chiqib kelgandi-yu Kerrigan tutib berdi. Gizmini qo'lida agar 5-7 bo'lganda kamida 2 ta minus amalga oshirib bergan bo'lar edi, lekin bu yerda tazas qiyinchilik bilan Poyni yo'q qilib bermoqda. Kerrigan Maktenda va Kerrigan qaytdi ortiga. Hozircha Monesydan javob headshoti bor rangga. Device Temple'ga qarab yurib kelmoqda edi. Kyosuke uni to'xtatdi. Eng so'nggi igroq esa Sira Kyosuke tomonidan yo'q qilindi. 2-0 Falconlar oldinda va fullbackga qarshi fullback ko'ramiz endi.
Understand what they had in front of them.
What are you calling them, Mohan? Idiots?
Keyingi turnir qachon? Mana shu turnirda oxirigacha tugatib olaylik, qanaki ko'ramiz hali keyingi
Anybody in
turnirlarga ham
specific or just
o'tamiz.
all of them?
It's just one guy in Gizmi. That's how I look at it. Team Gizmi and some guys. Gizmi and the guys. Garage band.
3-chi round boshlandi.
Gizmi and the game plan is really where we want to kind of put the chips.
Kerrigan
But as highlighted by Maui Snake, you got a week to try to make this happen, and it's not like we've gotten Gizmi masterclasses.
Niko zo'r pozitsiyani egallab olgan, lekin check qilinadi katta ehtimollik bilan uning pozitsiyasi Rain tomonidan. Va Gizmi ham suvga tushib oldi. Konnektorga qarab yetib keldi, middan sakrab olgan Gizmi. Kerrigan
And on a map where you're going to be trying to outcall Kerrigan of all
Anubis hujumda o'ynashga ancha qulay. Kerrigan mid egallanib olindi va bu yerda Sira bor. Siraning ham pozitsiyasiga ehtimol bilan smoke bilan hozir to'sib qo'yilsa kerak. Kerriganda chunki bitta smoke borligini ko'rib turibmiz. B'ga o'ynab ko'rishadi. Kerrigan hozir konnektordan yuguradi katta ehtimollik bilan.
Doing exams.
Shuni suvga tushib konga yugurib borsa.
Really playing in Kerrigan's shadow in that regard.
Poy keldi o'sha konga yaqin yig'ilib olgan. Raskidlar tashlab beriladi va Kerrigan ham kirib kelishni boshlaydi. Molotov Kerrigan kirib keldi. Gizmiga ajoyib headshot. B-maindan ham yugurib allaqachon saydiga qarab yaqinlashib olishgan va tez ajoyib headshot. Sira qilinkizga esa Kerrigan javob qaytardi. Va Device smoke orasida Monesy tomonidan olib tashlandi. Eng so'nggi igroq Rain save qilishni tanlayapti. 3-0
to put away 100 thieves on their first gun round.
We said very nice things about Falcons coming into Dust, so I'm not going to say them again because all those same things should happen here on Anubis, but
Beshta top igroqlar. Endi top igroqlar-da bu yerda Device, Rain, qariyalardan ikkita. Kerrigan bilan Niko.
Where they can kind of control the ebb and flow of everything. It's hard for teams to slow it down.
It was Nuke, man. It was just so convincing.
Yeah, they look like major champions back on Nuke.
Like bosmaganlar, like'lar bosib 1300 taga chiqarib qo'ysak bo'ladi sonda. Подпис bosmagan bo'lsangiz, chatda yoza olmayotgan bo'lsangiz, shuni obunani bosishingiz bilan sразу chat ochiladi sizga. Bemalol yozishingiz mumkin degani.
The thing was, it was Boy getting all those kills, but it was also, I feel like Gizmi did do a lot.
Kerrigan YouTube berdi bu roundda, lekin.
Yep. I mean, Maui did a good job of highlighting like Rain and Device's moments as well.
Yeah.
The experience
Rain is just
kind
as
of
stable as ever.
Yep. Playing to his opponent's
4-chi round boshlandi.
The point Maui was hammering home, and I think he is very much correct in that. You know, we talked
Va
about
Rain save qilib qo'lingan M4A4 da, qolganlar esa pistoletlarda harakatlanishadi bu raundda.
A major champion team.
Yeah.
So you bet your ass he's going to take the chance.
6 kda da yurdi. Niko 0-0. Hali o'lmagan ham, o'ldirmagan ham Niko.
Niko 0.
Odam ko'rgani yo'q menimcha hali Niko. Mana endi Niko va Rain o'rtasidagi duel demoqchi edi-ku, Rain birozgina ortga qaytib oldi. Device.
See if Rain can somehow be the hero. Task with the only
Smoke
M4 in the
Rasidlar.
round.
Razvey va Device Monesy'dan one tap keragini esa Gizmini yo'q qilib berdi va Temple tezkorlik bilan egallanildi. Bu yerda round katta ehtimollik bilan B'da yakunlanib qo'yiladi. Syura yaxshigina shans va keragini yo'q qilib bermoqda. Syura Kyosuke birozgina uzoqda. Niko hozircha o'ynagani yo'q edi va taza poyini Kyosuke esa Syurani yo'q qilib berdi. Eng so'nggi yiroq yana Rain va yana Safe. 4-0 Falconlar yaxshigina start olishdi. Orqa o'ziga e'tibor qilmang aka. Bo'lmaydi, boshqa iloji yo'q.
We're on Niko 0-0. Watch how long will this last.
U uchun sotib olishimiz kerak turnirda. Turing 5000 yoki 5-6 ming dollarga. 5-6 ming bering yoki ovozsiz qilib beraman lekin.
Surely he gets into the action next round.
Niko hali ham 0-0. Ertaga OG bilan o'ynaydi, OG komanda bilan.
So who will be the champion of season 2? Which team?
A bounty?
No, just the whole second half of the year.
Season 2 of
Yeah.
Counter-Strike. Oh man, such a tough call.
Akmal yaxshimisiz charchaysizmi?
Would I be lame if I just
26 qarang, username bilan yoziladigan bo'lganki, shuning uchun eslamayman. Ismingiz bilan yozilganda tanirdim
I
lekin.
feel like it's just a straight 33% chance, you know, between
all
those top 3, yeah.
Yep.
No, they're the underdogs now, so
Okay.
yeah, it's cool to cheer for them again.
My brain wants to say Vitality, my heart wants to say Spirit, and my balls say Falcons.
Balls talk, eh?
Sometimes.
Inglizchada yomon gapirdi
Get
lekin.
you into trouble.
Tarjima qilmaymiz.
You gotta really dig deep to believe in the Falcons.
Monesy Syurani yo'q qilib berdi. Chiroyli open kill poyi o'ldirganiga esa Kyosuke javob qaytarmoqda. Rasidlar tashlab berildi. Kyosuke bemalol sayt egallanib bo'lingan. Gizmi esa mida va Niko easy kill. Niko birinchi minusni amalga oshirib bermoqda. Gizmi yo'q qilingan. Rain hamda Device 4 kishiga qarshi, lekin endi qiyin. Ko'rdi va Monesy Device'ni tutib olmoqda midda. Yana Rain va yana Safe.
Already hard enough to defend. That one's quick and easy. Didn't have to think at all.
Just straight to the point, huh?
It's a scary part
JM
about
sponsorima
it.
deydi. Yo Chevrolet o'zi. Va Rain Nikoni yo'q qilib bermoqda. Niko bu raundda ham o'ldirdi, ham o'ldi.
Having to spot like that just feels so risky all the time.
Yomon pick.
10-0 start here for Monesy.
Unta kill. Telegramda yozgan. Bo'ldi, endi esladim akmal. Shunaqa desangiz o'lar.
Clearly coming through with confidence are the Falcons off of the start. Won the knife round, chose T-side, and have set a tempo that 100 Thieves simply cannot keep up to at the moment.
Who dies first, Niko or Monesy?
The round save qilib oldi,
I'm going to say Niko. Actually, I'm going to say Monesy, because Niko's just not been a part of anything.
Time out bizda. Time out bu degani like time degani. Like bosmaganlar bo'lsa bosib qo'yamiz.
Tough guy.
Nasib bo'lsa yilda oxirigacha bir
Mr. Von Spreckelson
100 ming
trying
bo'lsa zo'r
to
bo'ladi.
get his troops into the game. That's Gizmi for the uninitiated.
It's like Freckle or Spackle, you gotta pick one.
33178 ekan bizda.
Spork.
You win
That's
this
kind
time.
of what he did. I
You
mean,
win this time,
Now he was
Launders.
cooking. I mean, at the end of the day, it is the best utensil. It's just not very cool.
6-raund boshlandi. Ikkita jamoada ham full buy deb bo'lmaydi. Bu yerda half buy bor ekan, ya'ni Yusif'da, lekin 5-1 ko'rishimiz ham mumkin degani bu.
Okay, here he comes.
Niko
As an opener.
Hech kim yo'q va Nikodan ham kill hozircha yo'q. Yaxshi qayashga tushib berish mumkin. 74% jon bilan tek qolmoqda Rain. Ikkita MP9 da push qilishmoqchi.
Couple flashes ring out. The MP9 tries to push outwards, but that's Rain down to 60 health.
Agar Telegram kanalida bo'lib tursangiz, bilasiz streamlar qayerda, qaysi platformada bo'layotganini. Telegram kanalga obuna bo'lib qo'yishingiz chiqarmaydi. Va Carrigan Gizmini minus qilib berdi. Kyosuke Sira esa chalg'igan va bo'ldi. Sira haqida informatsiya bor. Kyosuke va Carrigandan navbatdagi minuslar 6kda da ketmoqda. Carrigan ham, Device hamda Poi esa save qilishga maksimum harakat qilib ko'rishadi. Hech qanaqa 5-1 ko'rmas ekanmiz. Falcon o'yinni boshlayotganim bilan endi hali tugagani yo'q, lekin katta hisobda yutadi deb taxmin qilgandim Sirada o'zi. Yo'q, bo'lmaydi. Otabek aka, bitta yozsangiz ham o'qiymiz.
You know, it took 32 years.
You're going to live forever. That much margarine in your body.
Yeah, it just felt like it was the right time.
100 bo'lardingiz, menimcha deyildi. Bemalol 100 bo'lardi. Biroq 6 oy stream qilmadim YouTube'da.
Put the margarine in a butter dish.
What's that?
Couldn't put the margarine in a butter dish.
No, I mean like I started buying butter sticks or sticks of butter. Are they called butter sticks?
Butter sticks? I think that's like when you whiff a shot. They call like butter sticks.
Nice shot, butter sticks. Yeah, I had to buy a jar to put my butter in. I was like, this is...
Wait, it's a jar now?
Well, a container, a dish, a glass dish.
Okay.
You have one of those?
Can you open it?
Yeah.
Okay. No, mine goes in the fridge.
Round bo'lsa uytadimi? Kamida 5 ta 6 ta round oladi. You see, 5 ta.
Put like everything in the fridge. I just recently started putting my hot sauces in the cupboard, realizing like
Niko birga zo'rda.
Butter in the cupboard.
Rahmat Baxtiyor aka. Dabayf qilib qo'yaman. Bu yoqda YouTube'da bo'ladimi? Xudo xohlasa, hech qanaqa muammo bo'lmasa, meni planimda YouTube'da bu yoqda davom etish.
But how long can they hold it? That's the question. Ooh, out in front of Molly. A little bit dangerous now for the CTs falling back.
Kyosuke'dan yaxshi headshot Siraga.
Yeah, and you can get Molly too.
Just an MP9.
Vasiylar tashlab berildi. Kyosuke double kill amalga oshirib bermoqda. Gizmi Carrigandan headshot qabul qilib oldi. Hattoki Carrigan chiroyli killlar qilib yuribdi. Rain esa lurker bo'lgan Nikoni minus qilib berdi. Monesy quickscope bilan Rainni keyingi raundga jo'natdi. Device 05. Ko'z tegmasin Device. 0 ga 5 ham yuradimi?
Very good ones at that. Monesy still yet to die.
And Device yet to kill.
Device. Hech bo'lmasa birinchi killni qilishga shans beringlar Falconlar. Yo'q, Carriganni qaranglar, yugurib quvlab o'tib yuribdi hammani.
He's upgraded to an M4 just for fun. That's how much they're winning.
Gap yo'q, hozir bitta narsani to'g'rilab qo'yaman bu yerda.
I don't think 100 Thieves are having fun anymore.
Kyosuke juda chiroyli kirib keldi. O'yinni yo'q qilib berdi. Carrigan ham zo'r o'ynadi.
I do think even just picking, I mean,
nice, yeah. Sonic
might not get the series, just having that Dust 2 win.
Eng chiroyli ko'rgan bootcampim hozircha shu Falconlarnikida.
With their new IGL.
Yeah, it's an accomplishment in and of itself. I think we're allowed to get excited for him.
Voy, qaranglar, Carriganni 8 ta qilgan killni butun boshli 100 CV'sni qilgan, igroklar qilgan killdan ko'p ekan. Bitta Gizmida, bitta Poida, ikkita Rain, ikkitasi 6 ta kill, 8 ga 6 yuribdi. 6 ta killda qilgan, общий 100 CV's jamoasi 8 raund ichida Carriganda 8. Monesy hali o'lgani yo'q. Nikoni qiynayapti, ular Niko lurk bo'lib o'ynayotgani uchun menimcha. Yutqizgan jamoa turnirda tark etadi. Monesy Bootcampda o'ynagani bilan ping bo'ladi, chunki onlayn o'ynayapti-ku. Ping pastroq bo'ladi, lekin kamida 20-30 pingda o'ynaydi hozir igroklar. Niko Rain juda yaqin, lekin qaytdi o'rtaga 3 ta A himoya, bitta B device midda. Va Kondan hozir B ga kirib kelishmoqchimi? Monesy hamda Kyosuke. Kirib keldi ham Kyosuke. Va device birinchi minusini topmoqda. Kyosuke tutib olindi.
kondan yugurishda davom etishadi. Device'dan midga chekingan Siraning paysasi tekshiradimi yoki yo'q bilmadim, lekin smoke hozir tarqalib qolishi mumkin. Raskidlar qilib kirib kelish boshlandi va bu Sirani bilishadi. Sira bitamiz. Nikodan razmen bor. Device hozircha yashash bilan o'vur. Ajoyib flick shot Kerriganga Device tomonidan orqadan yetib kelgan Rain bor bu yerda. Niko bitamiz amalga oshirib berdi va Poydan double kill. 7-1 ga bo'lishi mumkin emas. Telegram kanalga tashlagan Blast turniri bo'lyapti. Xuddi shunaqa Blast turniri bo'lyapti o'zimizga. Telegram kanalga tashlaganmiz bu haqida ma'lumot. Xudo xohlasa ertaga video ham chiqaraman. Turnir haqida. Instagramga ham video qo'yamiz ertaga. O'ynashni bilmaydimi deydilar. Bundan oldin kartani ko'rmadingizmi? Zafar aka yutdi-ku. Falconlarni.
But Falcons could afford that. Still so much money in their bank accounts.
Necha kun bo'ladi? Ancha bo'ladi. Hozir shanbagacha announce buni guruh bosqichi. Undan keyin playoff. Bu juda ko'p turnir bor endi. Ketma-ketiga turnir bo'ladi. Kerrigan Razvey va Gizmi ko'rilmasa kerak hali beri. Kerrigandan ajoyib smoke ko'rdi Gizmi ko'rdi, lekin Kerrigan ulgurmayapti. O'zini entry fraggerida his qildimi deyman, Kerrigan buncha qilib yurgan killdan keyin.
Rain stole the thunder, but he helped.
9-3 bilan tugaydimi deyman bu. 12 ta round chota bunaqa ketishdi.
E-box control hard to turn down. Even in a 4v5 it's a scary spot here for the
team. Ikkita round buy qilishga pullari bor ekan. Kyosuke bilan Kerrigan juda pul ko'p. Oy. Qo'shdi mana Poy uyg'ondi. Double kill chiroyli headshotlar. Niko hamda Kyosuke tirik qolishgan. Niko ko'rdi. Device payqab qoldi uni va Device orqa qaytishga Niko qo'yib bermayapti. Yaxshi headshot bilan ushlab oldi. 23 soniya atrofida vaqt. Kyosuke Sirani yo'q qilib bermoqda. 2-5 round yutib ketish lekin juda ham imkonsiz, chunki Gizmining paysasi tekshirilmaydi. Niko enter Gizmi double kill 7-2 hisob. Shanba o'ynaydi. Shanba kuni ham o'yin bor. Yakshanba kuni o'yin yo'q.
A ton of money Falcons will buy in this, they'll buy in
like-larni bosib qo'yamiz va 1400 ga qarab o'zi atiga 5 ta like qolibdi. 25 kishi like bo'lsa, hozir bosmaganlarning orasidan 1400 bo'lar ekan. Kerriganni qo'lda kalashni hozir ko'ramiz aka birga.
Nothing will be as fun as watching Poi pop off on Dust 2 tonight. Unless they can actually somehow claw this one back. They were 7 rounds into this game without a successful opening duel. 100 Thieves.
That was the interesting stat about Nuke, though, as well. They've somehow gotten 9.
Right, and you know what's nuts is back on Dust 2, Falcons had 14 of the 21 opening duels, and still lost that game in a total blowout fashion.
Va bizda 10-round boshlandi.
Make it make sense.
Tezas lekin Poy yaxshigina damage bera oldi. Yashab qolish bilan o'g'ri Tezasdan headshot. Tezas on fire. Yugurib o'tishni boshladi Tezas. Device, Molotov, Device haqida info bor. Rain suvda tekshirishdi. Lurker borligini bilishadi. Gizmi Kerriganni yo'q qilib bermoqda. 3-3 vaziyat. Lurker qayerda? Niko. Rain tutib oladi menimcha uni. Rain tutib oladi. Rain midda ekan. Konda o'ynab ketishi mumkin Niko. O'ynaydi. Eshitmadi hech kim. Va Gizmi tezasini yo'q qilib berdi va Niko round yutib berishi mumkin hozir.
You'd think he's assuming he's been heard, but that's
not
the case.
Bombani. Bombani yechib ketdi bu yerda Gizmi. Juda kech o'ynadi Niko. Bilmadim nimaga o'tmadi va Gizmi Nikoni vaqtdan keyin ham o'ldirishga ulgurmoqda.
Another big shout out to Gizmi for
ketma-ket 3 ta round va o'ziga kelib olgan jamoa YOUTUBEga comeback qilishmoqchi. Falconlarni turnirdan chiqarib yuborishmoqchi. Major chempionlarni.
That's 3 in a row. Brave move by Gizmi originally just to get out of there.
Prosta keldi yechdi boshda egib. fake qildi deb o'yladim.
Really played that round with little caution to his own life, but it's what they needed in those moments.
Eng qizig'i pul keyingi raundga ham yetadi bay qilishga. Juda ko'p ketma-ket 7 raund olgandan keyin boy bo'lib ketdi ular. Device ko'rdimi ekan, ha?
And gives me one of the IGLs that can frag out when needed.
Hozir bo'lyapti turnir, hozir onlayn bo'lyapti.
Put it on the board. When you're facing all the money that the Falcons have because of that 7-0 start, just squeeze out round wins by any means necessary.
Yeah, multi tushmayapti. Boydan miss
Not my map pick.
Bu lekin yaxshi emas. Hozir Kyosuke haqida info bo'lardi ularda. Tazas. Yana kon va yana B. A ga o'ynamaganiga o'zi ham yillar bo'ldi va middan ham o'ynashni yig'ishtirib bordi bu Falconlar. Faqat kon B main, kon B main. Niko shovqin chiqarish bilan ovora har doimgidek. Poy mol tashlab berdi va Poy qochib ulguradimi? Pik va Poy kargan yo'q qilib berdi. Ikkita roketadalik haqida info bor ularda, lekin bomba tushib qolgan. Device yetib keldi Templedan. Smoke rasklar tashlab berildi. Razvey tazas pik qilganicha yo'q. Device chiqib kelmadi oxirgacha va bomba o'rnatilmoqda. Monesy Poyni tutib olmoqda smoke orasida. Rainni ham tutib olishi mumkin Monesy. Rainni o'ldirib berdi. Double kill Monesyning hisobida 14-2 KD va Monesy triple killga yaqin. Gizmi ochildi va Monesydan triple kill. Device ga bo'lishi mumkin emas. Monesy roundni yutib hal qilib berdi. Hisob esa Device ham. Chance qoldirmayapti Device. Volbang bilan hechot berib yubordi ya.
So he does bleed, but doesn't really matter. Insane impact out of Monesy.
Swing degan ko'rsatish chiqardi-ku, swing round degan. Mana shu Monesyning qilgan ishi swingga kiradi-da. Qarang, bitta joyda o'tirib kill qilmayapti-da. Bitta minus topyapti. Undan keyin kattadagi igrokni chiqib Votadagi igrokni o'ldirib kelyapti, yana kelib kattadagi igrokni o'tyapti. Mana bu ham o'yindagi statistikasiga ancha foyda beradi.
This one's a headshot. Like what?
Roundda yugurib o'ynaydi, ko'proq har xil joylardan kill qiladi.
Just Monesy things.
12-round hisob esa 8-3, 9-3 bo'lsa, menga medal bersalar. Agar bo'lmasa, mayli. Like bosinglar bo'ldi. Kyosuke
Gives me making him work for a few of these, but ultimately very lopsided first 12 rounds. Quick adjustment, and Poy is going to get the lead at 7-10 is his final score.
Connectorda turgan Poyni minus qilib bermoqda.
Lights out Dust 2 performance.
Oh man, poor Poy. You did nothing wrong there. That was just an unreal reaction out of Kyosuke.
Bomba topshirildi Kyosukening qo'liga va bu yerda Device bor. Uyg'on qirol. Karagin kelmoqda sening oldinga. Hech qanaqa flash yo'q. Raskid yo'q va Karagin tutib berdi Device. Double kill ko'ramiz katta ehtimollik bilan. Molotov Raskidlar bilan haydab yuborishdi, lekin Device'ning bu paytdan yaxshi hayotga o'tib bermoqda. Midagi igrok haqida hozircha informatsiya yo'q. Sekin o'ynayapti. Tazas lurking vazifasini o'taydi. Xohlagan payt kirib kelishi mumkin, lekin bu pozitsiya tekshirmoqda. Rain timinglarda yutqizib qo'ydi. Rain va GG. Rain timingda yutqizgani Tazasning double kill bilan yakunlandi. Monesy bu yerda Sirani tutib olmoqda. Gizmi esa eng so'nggi igrok 4 ga 1 clutch va GG 9-3. Medalim qanava. Assalomu alaykum, Marfaga yaxshimisiz, charchamaysizmi? Nima ko'rmay qoldingiz? Aka, ana unda Kickda stream qildik. YouTube strike olgandi, shuning uchun. Twitchda, Kickda, boshqa platformalarda deydi. Endi YouTube'ga qaytdik. 9-3.
But ultimately Falcons play it to their pace, their tempo and remain in control. It's always made easier when Monesy puts up performances like these. A 17 kill half from the young Opper.
Omad bro, rahmat aka. O'zingiz tinchmisiz? Plastikcha B point egallagan. Jurezga pachkani qo'yib, saytda qoldiring brat. Portlab o'ldiring undan ko'ra. Shunaqa qilsangiz bo'lar. Qaysi komandalar bor yana? Navidan boshqa hamma top komandalar bor. Kikdan banol yo'q, Kik akkauntimiz turibdi. Просто bitta platformada endi streamda, YouTube'da qilaveraylik streamimizda. Hozir akalar bormaydi. Onlayn turnir boshlanishi onlayn, undan keyin mana shu yerda bo'ladi. Maltada bo'ladi. 8 ta komanda chiqqandan keyin, ya'ni chorak final, yarim final, grand finallari offline bo'ladi. Siz orqali rahmat Sardor aka. Parivision bormi? Parivision bo'lish kerak. Hozir aytaman. Yo, pari ham yo'q edim. Boshqa turnirga o'tib ketib qoldim. Dastan bilan ancha kuchaydi, lekin Parivision. Parivision jamoasi bu turnirda o'tkazib yuborar ekan, qatnashmayapti Parivision. Bunda boshqa turnirda bor.
17-3 like it's nobody's business. I mean, not missing shots in the post plants. If Falcons were on a bomb site, Monesy had his hands on the round. And so it is a tough go
30-iyuldan boshlab 2-avgustgacha 3 kun LAN bo'ladi. Shanba kunigacha, ya'ni 26-iyulgacha esa online ko'ramiz.
Surely there had to be one.
Did he miss an op shot B-Trams that half?
Yeah, B-Trams. You've got the stats.
I think I can only remember the hits. The greatest hits. Everything Falcons wanted on Dust 2, they got here on Anubis. 4 rounds to go for them. We'll see if they
Betbumda sassa tarqalib ketmagan, bitta siren qo'shildi, brat. Tarqalib ketgani yo'q. Flamus arendada o'ynayotgandi. Flamusni $1 million sotaman dedi Virtus Pro. BB Team sotib olam, bunaqa pulga dedi. Keyin Gamer Legendga berib yuborildi. O, Monesy ko'rib turibdi. Yomon headshot berdi. Sira double kill. Comeback. Ryan Carrigan ot tashlayapti. Bitta Monesyni debda shu. Mayli, hech qisi yo'q Monesy. Bundan oldin pistoletga YouTube bergandi.
They did get 2v4'd on a Dust 2 pistol, I'll just say that.
Device Prime'da Monesy'dan kuchliroq. Endi bilmadim nimadir deyishdi.
Oh, it definitely would.
This would be the
It'd be the upset of the
season.
Just season.
Davlatlar o'tsasangiz, xudo xohlasa stream qilamiz. Agar o'zim taklif qilib qo'yishsa, yur olib ketamiz sanaymiz, ala ketib boraman lekin.
Of the decade.
Retake qilib borishsa, lekin diffuse kit bor edi.
No kit, no stress.
Niko qiyin, juda qiynalib o'tdi. Device tomonidan Niko ham yo'q qilib berildi. 9-4 hisob. Oldingi o'yin emasmi? Yengdi.
This game was going to be interesting, so we're all cheering for that.
Hali o'ynalmagan o'yin, brat.
A 5-round gap in it, but
ikkita qo'l o'ynaldi, ikkita map.
Niko's coming up. I'm going to trust in Gizmi.
YouTube'dagi xissangizni sekin-sekin aka, eslayapman ha. Mana shu.
This would be the biggest result for 100 Thieves. This roster.
Yes, this would be the pinnacle of VRS climb.
This would be the big one for them.
This is their Everest.
Falcons,
their online Everest.
Off of the major championship. And here we sit
14-round.
on map 3.
Sira norm o'yinchi ekan. Yo, faqat mana shu pistoletga yaxshi o'yin. Siradan ko'ra Poyini o'yini yoqdi menga. Poyi zo'r o'yinchi ekan.
15-1 Kerrigan over Rain in their head-to-head.
Gizmi zo'r flash bilan chiqib keldi, lekin Gizmi Monesini otishga ulgurgan ekan. B'ga agressiya, B'da hech kim yo'q. Aniq himoya qilishga yo'l olishda 4 kishi bo'lib, lekin xato joy tanlanmoqda. B to'liq egallanib bo'lingan, full eco qilishdi, hech qanaqa force emas. Shunday ekan, exit fragga ishlashadi Falconlar bu raundda.
And we'll see where Kyosuke decides to try to swing with it, because surely they want to get this damage in.
Rain hamma topchamda, hamma komanda bir xil, guruh bosqichidan chiqib o'ynaydi. Yutqizgan turnir tark etadi. Rain Kerrigan ko'rmadi menimcha, ha, hozircha.
100 Thieves 5.
100 Zeus. 100 Zeus komandasi. 100 o'g'rilar. Rain va Device'dan minuslar bor. Device Nikonni yo'q qilib bermoqda va Device tezasini ham yo'q qildi va KDga chiqib oldi. Triple kill bilan Eco Fragger Device. 9-5 hisob. Full buyga qarshi full buy. Da comeback berorsa 5 ketaman lekin Falconslarga.
See no glasses.
Gap overtime o'tib ketib qolsa-ga. Endi birinchi kun, ikkinchi kun kecha ham o'yinlar bo'lgan, lekin bunaqa qiziq o'yinlar bo'lmadi. Bugun turnirning ikkinchi kuni. Art Falcons, assalomu alaykum. Yaxshimisiz Art? Yaxshimisizmi? Donat uchun rahmat, brat. WW Falcons. Rain, tezasi minus qilib.
With a couple, this is versus guns, folks.
Don't need good glasses to see
Now
that.
things are going to get interesting. It's a 3-round game. 100 Thieves dispatch the Falcons' first gun round on the CT side, and they do it in very convincing fashion. Back-to-back headshots at Rain.
Hozircha va Kerrigan.
Lovely 400 Thieves.
Poyini minus qilib bera oldi. Rain yetib keldi. Kill qilishga va Rain Kerrigan yo'q qilmoqda. Rain qo'shdi. Triple kill. Kyosuke zo'r flash hamda Raindan quadro kill. Gap bo'lishi mumkin emas.
What I wanted to believe, like right at the beginning of the half, does Falcons believe that they
Qani Zonik nima qilib berar ekan?
No point in this game where they're really ever having fun. They were just kind of getting through it.
Mani hisob-kitobimga yetib keldik. 5-6 ta round olib biladi degandim UC'da, lekin o'zi undan ko'proq round oladigan yo'q o'xshayapti. Rain achkizda, umuman boshqa. Men ham tanimayman Rain. Menimcha ko'zini operatsiya qilgan.
But obviously at the very minimum they'll be
Rasm tushdan oldin yo'q hech kim yechib qo'ygan.
Because well, you've got Device and Rain over there.
Device full pistoletlarda harakatlanishadi bu raundda Falconlar.
13-1.
Was it 1? Yeah. Okay. We should have that reconfirmed. Because this would be a hell of a time for it to happen.
Agi o'ynab ko'rishadi, faqatgina Tezasning o'zi bor hozircha. Ada 3 ta midda turib olishgan. Qaytdim yoki bu fikrdan? Flash. Gizmi. Donkdagi aim bo'lishini qanaqa mashq qilish? Aka, menda unaqa aim yo'q, shuning uchun hech narsa deyaolmayman. Qiz o'ynab stream qiladigan yevroplardan so'rab ko'rsangiz, nimadir aytib biladi lekin. Gizmi, Monesyni o'ldirib bermoqda, Niko esa Gizmini razmen qila oldi. Siz qachon aytasiz? Brat, men izlagandam normalniy. Просто bu kompyuter uchun
It's never going to be smooth sailing. I can promise you that. Falcons will put up a fight.
Voy, Kerrigan.
Kerrigan in the smoke. Pressed up against Sierra.
Hozir yomon o'ynab beradi Kerrigan. Ketdi. Kill borda Kerrigan da mana. Otdim, Turkiya uch. Tazas. Kyosuke 1% jonlantirib qolgan. Rain, yana Rain va Kyosuke hozir Shiroki pick qilib beradi va bu yerda qani Kerrigan mana ekan, shu yerda ekan, yordam berib yubormoqda va device razmenga o'ynashdi. Poy haqida info bor, lekin Niko atiga 14% jonlantirib qolgan. Bomba esa Poy tomonga o'rnatilgan. Defuse kit yo'q, 10 soniya vaqt kerak defuse qilishga.
Will he anticipate a 10-second defuse? Well, right now it's Niko not even
one tap hal qiladi. Yo, Poy bermayapti. Kerrigan saridan shoshib qoldi. Bu raundda shu savolga ham 100 seviz a'zosi bo'lgan Poy 2 ga 1 clutch yutib berdi jamoasiga. Lekin yaxshigina eko o'tkazishdi bu raundda.
Now that we see this game isn't going to be free. These wins start to bleed into more rifles.
Ertaga Spirit o'ynaydi. Uni stream qilamiz xudo xohlasa. Ertaga 22:30 da o'ynaydi Spirit jamoasi. Like bosmaganlar like'larni bosib 1.5 mingga chiqarib qo'ysak bo'lar ekan va bizda full bayga qarshi full bay ko'rmoqdamiz. 9-7 hisob. Agar bu raund ham qo'ldan boy bersa, ketma-ket 4 raund oldi shundoq ham 100 seviz. 100 talik o'g'rilar ham jamoasi. Buni ham qo'ldan boy bersa bilmadim-da. Ketdi, Tezes o'ldirildi. Qanaqa pik? Nima bu Tezes? Qanaqa turish? Monesy Rain yugurib o'tyapti, yugurib. Gap bo'lishi mumkin emas. GG save qilish kerak bu ishliroq. Tezes ruiner.
Split entry frag into the A site to make this a one-round game.
What year is it?
Na Falconlarda xomiy bo'lgan shu.
And that's a bit of what Monesy brought to Falcons back on
chiqib ketadi turnirdan.
This is going to be a closing statement now for 100 Thieves. And this is a lot of momentum they have boiling.
Qiziq. Ikkita iroq endi pistoletda o'ynaydi bu raundda. Yoki scout olarkan Monesy. Atak bu kartada scoutni foydasi ham Sierra Kerrigan'da ham minus qilib beryapti. Bitta ham hali himoyada round yutmadi. Va Niko zo'rg'a save qilib qoldi.
But survives.
So far Rain is a driving force on this T side. He has had his hands on every round.
Omadi kelmayapti, ya'ni Tezasga.
I just need the Rain interview after this.
Yomon pick qildi, Rain yugurib o'tganini qarang.
No jiggle right there, just waited up until the point where he knew Tessus might have been spotting, went wide, instant headshot.
Yo, bay qilindi. Drop qilib berishdi jamoasi ularni.
9-1. Wow. And a kill in every round so far, I believe. On this attack.
3 ta mid o'ynashyapti. Gizmi shunda ushlab turibdi. Pretselni boshiga turibdi. Agar shunaqa sekin pik qilishmoqchi bo'lsa, Gizmida kamida bitta minus amalga oshirish imkoniyati bor, lekin agar chap tomondan pik qilishda device o'ldirib berishadi hozir. Device midda tekshirishga o'tgan ekan va devicedan miss, lekin Gizmi. Mana Gizmi. Double ana qayashga bilan kill. Midda ikkita iroq yo'q degan.
5v3 versus guns yet again in an attempt to tie this game.
You are kidding.
GG.
They needed a pistol to make this competitive.
Overtime haqiqatan ko'ramiz.
Buying for the map win. They are crushing on these rifle rounds.
In the process of a perfect T side so far. On the half.
Ketma-ket 6 ta round hujumda. 9-3dan 9-9gacha comeback.
It's a slow approach over to the A side as Falcons get active on B. Kerrigan going to be left to his own devices. No teammate nearby.
Bittuzi Ada.
You would have to be the
va hech narsa qila
hero
olmaydi katta
versus
ehtimollik
4.
bilan. Atak 3 ta iroqni minus qilib bersa round yutishlari mumkin.
Execute over top. Utility well placed, and he's going to go down empty-handed. Not one casualty for 100 Thieves to have to stomach in the 18th round.
Losing Nuke is one thing, but picking up Dust too, and then potentially Anubis of all maps.
and getting smoked on their map pick of Nuke.
Monesy AWP'ni save qilishi mumkin. Yo, berishmaydi. Sira ajoyib pick hamda triple kill.
Game 9-all.
Falcons just love making the news.
Time out olindi va Zonik hozir sekin tushuntirmoqda. Qanaqa qilib yana raundlar olish kerakligini, lekin o'sha hisob 9 bo'ladi. Yana eko round.
Pressure starts to sink in.
Texas on fire. Your defense is terrifying.
This really just turns out to be a Rain masterclass. Worst case, they could just buy him.
19-chi round boshlandi. Hisob 9-9. Gizmi, Monesy. Faqatgina Monesyda M4A4 ni ko'rib turibmiz. Deagle, ikkita Deagle, ya'ni ikkita 5-7'larda o'ynashadi va middan yetib kelmoqda Gizmi. Boostdan Monesy pastga tushib oldi.
This round for the lead on Anubis.
Qaysi turnirning operatori turnirlari yoqadi sizlarga? Ya'ni, masalan, hozir pastda turadi statistikalari. Menga mana shu Blastni turnir qilish yoqadi. Qaranglar, statistika pastda. Ikkita chap bilan o'ng tomondan katta joy egallamaydi. Qilib yuribdi Monesy.
Fire burns him.
Sakrab qochmoqchi.
Finds impact even from beyond the grave.
Rain
still gets his. And that rifle irretrievable.
Aga yugurishda davom etishadi.
Smoke doesn't want to take the gamble. And just gives 100 Thieves a little more room to work with.
Gizmi's going to clear out E-Box, gets the response back from the Falcons util. And now he can just go join up with his 3 other teammates to play numbers strong into this opposite side. Va Kyosuke hozir highlight ko'rsatib berishga to'g'ri keladi bizga. Gizmi timingda o'tib ketdi. Timingda o'tib olgan va Niko ulgurmaydi. Tushadigan bo'lsa eshitib qolishadi va Kyosuke
Utility confirms the intentions.
Qani bitta.
Kyosuke's Desert Eagle in hand misses its first shot.
Bitta mayli Niko.
Niko's got one as well.
Niko yaxshi o'ynab berdi, lekin device pistolet o'tmoqda. Agar Niko hozir device ham o'ndirib berganda, Deagle olsan qo'liga keragan.
And as Gizmi crosses back to long, he makes noise at the process. Kerrigan's position could actually catch them off guard.
I mean, eventually they've got nothing else to watch. Bombs planted open for them. AK to get picked up.
Pick. Qani Kerrigan pick. Lekin device tomonidan tutib olmoqda. 19 va biz fullbackga qarshi fullback ko'ramiz. XSS o'rniga eng musor turniri bo'lgan. XSS Xitoyliklarga
10-9 on a decider map over top of your most recent major champion.
o'rinda turgan komanda HLTVda birinchi o'rinda turgan komandani yutdi bilasizlarmi? Falconlar ancha-muncha VRS yo'qotadi. Juda ko'p VRS minus bo'lib ketadi ulardan. Ya'ni ochkolari yo'q qilinadi.
Has had little time to try to put together a master plan.
20-chi round boshlandi. Unaqa turnirda birinchi kundan chiqib ketib, lekin
It's been a rain of good entries that have brought 100 Thieves these rounds.
Gizmi.
One small mistake and it will just be a gust of wind to their confidence. Falcons have to hold this one tight. This opening kill could dictate.
Ikkita AWP, Kerrigan ham AWP'da o'ynayapti bu raundda. Kim berdi unga AWP?
But that doesn't mean they can forego being proactive at the same time. But what's the idea?
Monesy.
Flash works on Monesy.
Yo, Niko razmenda, lekin Gizmi juda chiroyli kill amalga oshirib bergan edi va AWP yana AWP. Bekor oldimi deymanda Niko qo'liga AWPni.
We've seen a lot of default victories out of 100 Thieves, and I mean just like the tactics to get the kills.
Hamda Kerrigan turgan B'ga qarab tortilishni boshlayapti. Bomba Sirahning qo'lida, Rain esa konnektor tomonga yo'l oldi. Kyosuke, Donkey o'xshab o'ynab beralar ekan Konda.
Building off the basics. Kyosuke is looking to be the interruption for this half of it, but it's Device and Rain on the attack.
Kyosuke,
oh, again, it is
Rain, Prime. Oy.
Another.
Qanaqa qilib bunaqa yugurib o'tishi mumkin bu?
TSS fast activation on the flank and
Rain Prime yo'qdi.
Molotov in front of him. Flashbang finds Rain this time.
TSS yetib keldi. 2ga 4 round boshlangan va hozir 2-2 vaziyat. Ikkita hero ham mainda. Bitta Sirada Hayashga bor ekan. Bu Hayashga Niko o'tirib defense qiladigan bo'lsa, defense qilishi mumkin. Lekin smoke ham yo'q, hech narsa yo'q qo'lda.
Kids on the block for 100 Thieves to close this.
Ikkita 100% hero
with pressure on them as that tap comes out.
Yetmayapti Niko.
Nobody bites.
Va tezda kill. Yetish kerak edi Niko. Vaqtida yetish kerak edi. Gaga. Umrinchi round. Vo, o'tolmayapti ham.
And no save. 100 Thieves 2 rounds from the upset.
And he'll also, did he get the op in the end?
Switched out just in time.
Bitta round, ya'ni ikkita round hozir ajratib turibdi-da Falconlarni. Mag'lubiyatdan.
Now for 100 Thieves, a tactic that works out beautifully. The flash to assist that kill. And Rain's entries are as good as dogs right here. They couldn't be any faster.
9-3dan comeback, bitta round olishmadi.
Playing up to the opposition. A still flawless T-side.
I mean, Rain has completely taken over this T-side to a level that you just could not precipitate. Double entries on sights with his rifle.
Yutqazsa chiqib ketadi. Mana bularning puli, ya'ni butun turnirda $60,000 komanda. $60,000 bonus bilan boshlagan. Ya'ni bounty deyiladi shunisi. Thieves 60,000 bounty oladi sirasi.
A half buy, they've got TSS on a M4, their only rifle.
Katta ehtimollik bilan 12dan qaytib kelishmoqchi Falconlar, 12dan. Boshqa iloji yo'q ularning, chunki pul yo'q, pulni ekonom qilishyapti bu raundda. Agar mana bu raund qo'lga kiritishsa, o'yinga shu joyda burilish yasashlari ham mumkin. Device Carrion. Kim o'yin olmayapti desak, butun komandasi o'yin olmayapti. Kataga o'tgandan keyin Falconslar hozir imенно bitta igrokda o'yini chiqmayapti. Qo'l bilan ko'rsatmaymiz avvalga.
You know, Falcons are low on money, that they're desperate and that they're still dangerous.
Rain. Yana Rain va yana one taplar, dona o'tishlar bilan. Hozir TSS yo'q qilib beradimi? Yo'q, TSS Rainni o'ldirdi. Gap yo'q. Eng muhim herolardan biri yo'q qilindi. Monesy.
Now Falcons are actually completely back in business. Now they can't go grab that gun, obviously.
Curious to see if Gizmi gets the troops into that gap. If they just call out the bluff as if that M4 is going to move.
Monesy
Classic tactic.
Deagle'da.
It's the hit and run.
Va yordamga esa TSS yetib keldi. Monstlar ketma-ketiga TSS xalq holatda 2 foiz jon bilan qo'lga va Sira smoke ko'rib tashladi Monesyni. TSS ham qayerga borishini bilmay qoldi. Full blind holatdan so'ng Sira tomonidan yo'q qilib berildi. 4-3 vaziyat va yana smoke ishidan kill ko'rishimiz mumkin. Device Nikoni yo'q qilib bermoqda.
And with bomb down and weapons picked back up, 100 Thieves sit comfortably on top of this A site to secure themselves their 12. Kerrigan takes a
ajoyib headshot va biza 12-9 hamda match point ga ketamiz. Match point UCB'da. 5 ta like qoldi. Agar hali like bosmagan bo'lsa 1500 ga chiqarib qo'ysak bo'ladi. Agar like bosanglar, Aurora'dan Falconlar comeback qilamiz yoki comeback hech harakat qilamiz deb aytdi. Shunday ekan, akalar like bosib qo'yaylik. YouTube'ga qaytib oldik-ku, mana inson ovoz ekan. Xursand qilib turing endi likelar bilan.
Falcons are actually about to lose this series to a flawless T side.
Ulgurmay qolgandi.
I don't know what's crazier, the fact that it's Anubis, the fact that it's 100 Thieves.
Mana hamma like bosib. Uje 1600 ga qarab ketib qoldik. Juda ko'p like bosib qo'ygan ekan. 1600. Chota Falcon endi comeback qilib berish kerak, ha?
A map they can beat anybody on.
Eng kuchli sistemada Falcon. Bu kartada emas. Emza donat uchun rahmat. Donatga yangi ideyalar yo'qmi? Yangi bir zvukdan qo'shib qo'ymaymiz.
They can't seem to put brakes on it for even one round. Nico just
Kerrigan suyura orqali razm bera oldi.
Empty-handed. Luckily for them, Kerrigan gets straight through that smoke, and it's gonna leave 100 Thieves still with work to do.
Looking for the closing moment now. Rain's still alive. Zero will happily go 1-for-1 with a player like Nico.
Quzgan jamoa turnirida tark etadi bu yerda. Kyosuke, Kerrigan, Device. Bu yerda Kyosuke bitta minus Gizmidan razmen bor. 1 daqiqa atrofida vaqt fanda 3 vaziyat. Kerrigan mouse tashlab berildi, lekin Kerrigan yonganicha yo'q. Yetib kelmayapti. Va mana bu burchakda turgan pozitsiyasi hozir. Yana bitta molotov. Yana yonmadi Kerrigan. Tekshirmaydi menimcha endi. Endi tekshirmaydi yo'q. Endi tekshirmaydi va Kerrigandan easy kill. 3-2 vaziyat. Bomba tushib qolgan. Spiritni o'yini ertaga bo'ladi. Ertaga 35 soniya atrofida vaqt bor. Monesy keldi. Va Monesy Reynolds ketyapti smoke yopilishdan oldin. Eng so'nggi guruhga esa Poi bomba tushib qolgan. Bomba tushib qolgan. 12 degani hali o'yin tugamaydi akalar. Hali o'yin tugamaydi va Kerrigan double kill, triple kill Kerrigandan bu raundda. Kerrigan saqlab qoldi Falconlarni. Va biz 23-raundga yo'l olamiz degani bu. 12 o'yin Falconlar lekin o'sha like-ga javob qaytardi. Bitta raund olib berdi. Nima deb o'ylaysiz? Overtime-gacha yetib borishar ekanmi?
They deny the fantastic finish that would have been a flawless T side. But more than that, they give themselves a real chance to actually make this into overtime. It's still close because of their early lead.
Poi. Device.
10 rounds into the CT side, Falcons find their first.
Got one more tactic late in the game.
Nico.
A fresh strategy to try to catch Nico off guard. And they've got a lot of time to hang on to this angle. Gizmi trying to slide closer in front of this device, inching his way closer to the spot that Nico holds.
He's seen him.
And he's going to wait for a prime chance to pull that trigger. But Nico now disengaged. Gizmi's going to slide forward.
Gizmi zo'r o'tib oldi. Gizmi midni yaxshi egallab olgan hamda 50 soniya atrofida vaqt qolmoqda. Poi.
The push comes out dangerous, but he survives.
40 soniya.
Bomber Rain's back at T spot.
B'ga kirib ketishga tayyorgarlik.
At the end of this round. And Kyosuke gets tagged by those flames, so now they're going to know this position's occupied, surely. Kyosuke eats the flash.
Va Kerrigan Sirani yo'q qilib bermoqda. Gizmi esa Nikoni yo'q qilgan va Kyosuke'dan ham Device'ga qarata o'qlar uzib berildi. Kerrigan o Gizmi yo'q qilib berdi. Va Kerrigandan yana bir triple kill. Rain eng so'nggi igrok. Rain eng so'nggi igrok.
Okay, just when you
va biz 24-raundga yo'l olamiz. Rain Bu Kyosuke'dan ajoyib headshot. Kerriganga gap bo'lishi mumkin emas shunchaki.
Kerrigan himself to hold the line.
Like clockwork. Leave it to Finn to wake up this late into it when they're finally truly in jeopardy. But it's not enough to chew through all of the money here for 100 Thieves. They have a full
24-raund boshlanmoqda. Biz esa overtime-ga atiga bir qadam qoldi. Falconlar comeback qilib kelishmoqchi. Kerrigan sababli qariya xohlamayapti turnir tark etishdi. Kyosuke Device.
100 Thieves know you let this go into overtime, and suddenly the odds skew heavily towards the Falcons.
Sekin o'ynashni tanlayapti
situation where they'd have the
shuncha raundda shu tagigacha olib kelib, keyin o'ynashni boshlash shart ekanmi? Falconlarga ham qiziq edi.
Heavy utility usage to get them
closer. Tashlab berdi, lekin Gizmi to'xtash niyati yo'q. Monesy
Monesy's off, awaits, and the frag grenade
Niko.
finds good chip damage.
Bir xil tomonga
Device
ketdi.
tiptoeing into
Va
this
bu yerda
line. It's
Monesy
gonna
bitta
be
mezonga
dropped
qo'shib
by
berdi. Gizmi
Monesy.
haqida info yo'q hozircha.
We've got a
Niko.
teammate up front.
Niko.
Forgives me to
Gizmi
get
dan
the
headshot
response
qabul
back.
qilib
He takes
bormoqda.
damage from
Poy.
Nico. Smoke over to the B side.
Kyosuke esa smoke orasida poyni yo'q qilib berdi hamda 4
And
ga
as
3 vaziyat.
Gizmi will look to
Sira
yet
qayerda
again
bo'lyapti?
inch
Sira
his way out
bo'lmaydi.
middle.
Rain
The
esa
rest of
konnektorni
100
egallab
Thieves
bo'lgan.
still stuck stagnant outside this B site.
Falconlar 3 kishi midga nimaga o'tirib olishini hayronman. Kerrigan yolg'iz o'zi B'da. Mana endi sekinlik bilan Kyosuke yetib keldi yordamga.
To be called on again.
Sira
Sira from long, Rain from inside E-box, and Gizmi moving his way back from middle, looking to
Rain va Kyosuke'da headshot. Sira hamda Gizmi 4 kishiga qarshi raund davom ettirishga to'g'ri keladi. Voy Gizmi Kyosuke'ni yo'q qilib bermoqda. Gizmi Kerrigan tomonidan tutib olindi. Sira birinchi kill bor. 3 ga 1 vaziyat. Monesy Temple'da va bombani o'rnatadi. Oxirigacha o'rnatadi. Monesy hamda Tazas. Sira, Sira. Voy Sira 3 ga 1 raund yutib beryapti. Qanaqa clutch?
Champions. Gizmi is a steal.
Qanaqa qilib 3 ga 1 berib o'rish mumkin? 17 sekund qolgandi. 17 sekund.
To explain the experience of getting it to watch 100 Thieves clutch up an Anubis win against Falcons to win it in that regard, Valley. I mean, we knew a comeback was possible, but we thought overtime was more likely on the cards, especially having to see you go in a 1v2 and plant that bomb.
I can't believe
Oxirgi o'qi boshiga tegib qoldi. Oxirgi o'qi boshiga tegdimi? Qaranglar, mana headshotni ushlandi. Qarang, minutiga qaraymiz. Kerrigan zo'r o'ynadi, mayli. Gizmini o'ldirib berdi. 19 sekund vaqt. Kerriganni o'ldirgan payti o'sha 17 sekund bor. 17 sekunda qoldi.
And so Sira's 1v3's got a bit of space between him and the next challenge. Enough space to get away with the bomb plant. It's a gun up for Sira. Heart pounding, ops wide.
Bitta o'q boshiga tegib qolgan tezasda.
Bomb plant. It's a gun up for Sira. Heart pounding, ops wide.
Qani 11% jon bilan tirik qolyapti. Boshiga o'tmaydimi?
It's a gun up for Sira. Heart pounding, ops wide.
Chiqib ketdi Falcons turniridan, chiqib ketdi. Agar Telegram kanalga o'tib obuna bo'lib qo'yamiz, YouTube'ga ham follow tashlab qo'yinglar, chunki ertangi streamimiz boshlanadi nasib bo'lsa, ertaga kechga. Endi Falconlar yutqizdi. Turnir tark etdi. Nima ham deymiz? Sira zo'r o'ynab berdi baribir bu kartada. Telegram kanalda linkini tashlab qo'ydim, kirib obuna bo'lib qo'yishlar mumkin. Pin qilib qo'yaman. O'yin boshlansa yana nima tashlab qo'yamiz, link tashlab qo'yamiz akalar. Ertaga xudo xolisa streamda ko'rishamiz. Falconlar chiqib ketdi, bo'ldi, turnir tark etishyapti ular. Endi lucky oladimi, boshqacha oladimi, lekin yutdi-da baribir. Hayronman men shunga. Endi nimani ko'ramiz? Yig'laganini ko'raylik deylar. Yig'lagani yo'q hech. Intro berib o'tiribdi mana bu yo'lda. Mana statistika. 9-3 dan comeback berib yubordi. Emotsiya ko'raylik. Mana bu yo'ldagi emotsiyasini, round yutqizgandan keyingi emotsiyasini.
And so Sira's 1v3's got a bit of space between him and the next challenge. Enough space to get away with the bomb plant. It's a gun up for Sira. Heart pounding, ops wide, get away! And 100 Thieves with the robbery of the season eliminate your Cologne Major champions.
O'g'irlar. Komandani ismini qaranglar. 100 o'g'irlar. O'g'irlab ketdi. Raundni Falcondan.
I don't even know if I have words to explain the experience of getting it to watch 100 Thieves clutch up an Anubis win against Falcons to win it in that regard, Valley. I mean, we knew a comeback was possible, but we thought overtime was more likely on the cards, especially having to see you go in a 1v2 and plant
BC game haqida nima ma'lumot berib, bitta bitta yozing.
We're literally both just sitting here in disbelief.
Mana emotsiyasi igroqlar.
Them changing their tune.
Akalar mayli, bugunga yetadi stream, bugunga stream o'chirsak ham bo'ladi. Nimaga xafasiz? Xafa emasman, yaxshi o'tiribman-ku, brat. Falcons chiqib ketdi, shunga xafaman. Baribir top komanda, turnir qiziq ketishiga yordam beradigan komandada toplanib o'yinni ko'rishimiz mumkin-da. Endi Falcon yo'q, chempionlar yo'q, major chempionlar. O'shanga ozgina shu ishi ham ishmi deb aytib turibman-da. Agar charchamanglar, sog' bo'linglar. Ertaga xudo xohlasa streamda yana ko'rishamiz. Rahmat hammaga bugungi streamga kirganinglar uchun. Zo'r bo'ldi stream. Spirit o'ynaydi ertaga akalar. Like bosmagan